All right, welcome back, everybody. Apologies for that there. You can now hear our voices, and unfortunately, you can also see our faces here. We got to see the end of game number 1 and an important map in this best of 5. 5 Media Clan are hardpoint specialists. They needed that, and they start the series strong.
Yep, they sure do. And again, I don't know how much was actually shown in venue. If you missed all of it, I'm sure that we have some replays that we can dive into it later. But it just came down to some late slaying. You know, I talked about it. Again, don't know if anybody heard me. Capsule had a very good start. Hemp didn't have a very good start. You had some bright moments from Eric Boom. Assault was consistent through and through of that map number 1. But it's just the consistency in the high-profile slaying that Rancor brings to this team of 5 Media Clan. Like, Super didn't have, like, the massive performance that he typically does, but Rancor's right there to pick up the slack. And then Journey's on his continuation of a tear that he saw from yesterday on a map like 6-star. It came through a very, very competitive map number 1, but 5 Media Clan, that extra slaying just pushed them right over the edge.
Yeah, they are a very good hardpoint team, and for good reason. That was their strongest mode in Season 3 by far, and I think that's carried through. We saw it yesterday versus Omit EU. They look great in the mode, and they're also looking pretty good at Search and Destroy as well. So the question for me is, can this carry them through this series versus SGP Midnight, right? Because we're going on a Search and Destroy next. 5 Media Clan look like they fixed a lot of the issues that were prevalent during Season 3 in Europe. Are they now, have they got all their bases covered? Are they going to be able to just come out and completely storm this series versus Midnight?
It's a very tough call, isn't it? I mean, when you're thinking about for 5 Media Clan, specifically what they saw through yesterday, I mean, both their Search and Destroys, they won in total round counts for 12 and 4. So they only lost a total of 4 Search and Destroy rounds versus both Exceptionals and Omit EU. Those are 2 teams that immediately gave them a lot of struggles, specifically for Omit EU. So only time will tell before we get into that 6-star Search and Destroy, but you're definitely going to be feeling the hot hand if you are 5MC.
Yeah, and this is one of those other series. Honestly, I'm so intrigued as to how the series is going to go, because they're 2 very different teams in very different positions. Clutch Raynix War, of course, a roster that was put together for Season 3 of Challengers Elite, effectively to solely challenge Omit EU. They did exactly that. They overcame them in that losers bracket finals. Now here at Champs, they seem to be doing extraordinarily well. They pushed Omit Brooklyn to the brink yesterday. They want to have a good start of the series with the hardpoint victory over Houston Spartans roster that, of course, did get that reverse sweep.
Yep. It's just an interesting matchup stylistically when you're thinking about it, right? I mean, Wiz's S&D prowess, not to mention all of his IGL work that he's able to do through North America, and you compare that on the opposite side for, like, Denza, Sleep. You also have a lot of experience on both of these rosters in between Spark, Low Frosty, Vance on the opposite side, as well as Harry. Like, there's just... pick a storyline, brother. This one's going to be a good one for sure. I mean, Rio is going to be a great square-up map for these 2 to be able to see where the slang's currently at. And Harry's having himself a great start to this series.
Indeed he is. Harry is one of those players that is understated so often, I think, because he hasn't had the most stellar of seasons. But now, I think, what a time for him to peak right here at Champs. 8-2 start to this game. Big reason why Clutch Raynix were able to hold P2 in the way that they do. But as we move towards P3, Houston Spartans already starting to win some of these opening engagements. Spark will double up here on Newt. Again, keep an eye on Harry, though. For Spree from that old hard point. If he could earn it, that would be nice. And I kind of cast a curse him in a way because Spark immediately just spins on him through that arcade side. Spark still finding value as well. Fire wants to chase players outside the hard point. Cobra is trying to draw some attention away, perhaps from the front of the kill. And he finds that kill as well. So now a bit of, again, splitting the difference here of the defense. Houston Spartans have a lot to be concerned about. Clutch Raynix War approaching from all sides of the hard point.
I mean, they flipped the spawns with 20 seconds remaining here on P3, so that'll be a late break for Clutch Rain, and you're really going to tip your hat to Cobra, who just completely concedes the space once all of his teammates got wiped. It was a massive 2-piece from Chris, but being able to concede and getting back over towards the Whale Garage, flip the spawns, and now they're going to be able to have their lead just to be about 23 points or so, and a free rotation over towards P4. The string from 3 to 4, always a very dastardly one, as Harry up to 12 and 5 is going to get gunned across that head glitch. Houston Spartans looking for the break here.
They're going to find it as well. First 3 kills going their way. Denza's going to have to back up here. Spark not allowing such insolence, though. He has really heated up over the last couple of hard points. That's 3 in a row now for Spark. Wiz keeping an eye on the garage as well. Clutch Raynix War going to have to try and run straight through the gunnies of Houston Spartans in this situation, and it is just not happening. Spark able to pick up Denza. Cobra's the only one to find any value whatsoever here, and as we hit the back 30 seconds of this hill, Clutch Raynix War will give this one last shake. Spark, though, on 5 in a row. Spark, though, on 6 in a row. A streak through boxes. Wiz also able to double up here. All of a sudden, off the back of the last couple of hard points here, Randy, Houston Spartans have found another gear. They have absolutely turned things up to 11.
Yeah, they are quite literally the definition of do not let these boys cook. Once they start to get hot, they are a vibe-heavy team. Very difficult to shut them down, as Wiz still up on 4 in a row. Gonna be in a very tough engagement. I mean, good centering there on a Cobra, who had an MCW, the better weapon for that gunfight, but Wiz is gonna get guns, so you still have that one cruise missile back pocket here for Spart. Plenty of time left to fight over here on 5.
Plenty of time indeed. Gunfight's going the way of Clutch Rain X4. Cobra now starting to heat up. 11-7 here in this game. 3 in a row off the back of this hard point. You know, the Houston Spartans are going to be spawning out on the other side of the map. Yeah, that cruise missile coming down from Spartans. An early investment from the Houston Spartans here, and it will land on towards Cobra. That's time now not going the way of Clutch Rain X4. Unfortunately, in the middle of the map, Harry unable to sustain the gunfight as well. Bance is trying to trade things out, and he does, for the very least, for one. He's unsettling the Houston Spartans here in this situation. He's the only real reason why they're not able to jump in on the time, but as he goes down now, Houston Spartans will go for it. Denza towards the point. What can he do but deal with it? No, can only find one kill. Harry now on the other side is the last remaining player towards this kill for Clutch Rain X4. He keeps Houston Spartans off the time for about 5 to 10 seconds, but Houston Spartans streak investment, it keeps Clutch Rain X4 away.
Yeah, it sure does. It was about to be a very expensive investment there at the end of the first set of hard points for Houston, but it does benefit them to be able to keep Clutch Rain X4 off of the time, and it also converted it into top center control as well. Nice little transition coming through here for Houston Spartans as they're able to finesse. Blue currently up on 5 in a row, able to isolate Bance from the assistance of a player coming up through escalator. So that cruise missile gets replenished here for Houston Spartans, but getting dealt a very swift hand for Clutch Rain, or on the better side of the map for the rotation as well.
Clutch Rain down 20 points at the moment. Have to make sure you hold this side of the map for that rotation, as you said. Gunfights here. Denza, unfortunately, shot's not that great for the second gunfight versus Fire. That double up here should get the scrap time to Houston Spartans, and as we do hit that 20-second part, Clutch Rain X4 are not going to go for this. They're not going to invest anything more into this time. It's not the right play call. Instead, they're just trying to keep an eye on the Houston Spartans players that might try to get behind enemy lines here. Spart was one of those guys. Bance goes for an advantage engagement, and he's not going to win it. Fortunately enough, the spawns are good, as is the kill feed for Clutch Rain X4, so it's not quite disastrous here. But Houston Spartans, off the back of the last couple of kills here, with Fire with the streak in the back pocket, and going to use it as well. They haven't gotten themselves a nice little nest egg of time. Fire, what can he find with his streak now? As Cobra finds a double, he's just looking for anything possible. No. It's going to be nothing.
Oh, no, I mean, that is just bad news bears coming through for Houston Spartans. You wanted the cruise missile to potentially help them get through the center of the map, but Cobra gets a 2-piece, but it still, somehow, Houston Spartans are able to work their way up through this street and are just brute forcing their way through the front of the hard point. You also got Lou on a little bit of a flank, going through P2 lobby, is stuck at a 1v1 versus Cobra down low. But all of the teammates for Houston Spartans finding success from the front. Spart is on an absolute tear. Even finds Cobra weak through the center of the map. Can't get the reload off in time, but 24 and 16 from Spart. Insanity incarnate.
Yeah, you often talk about Spartan search and destroy, right? Well, he's turning up here in hardpoint for the Houston Spartans. A big reason why they are now 60 points to the good over Clutch Rain X4. They might not have got anything with the streak, but they certainly do take time away from Clutch Rain X4. But this isn't the end of the world here for CRX4. Currently do have control of the rotation towards Newt. I don't think Houston Spartans have anything on the back end to actually work with here to stop them on this hill. Ants in the middle of the map will get shut down. Houston Spartans now starting to build up the offense. They're on their way. Here we go. Fire and Riz, the subs for the Houston Spartans, starting to find the gunfight, starting to find the engagements. They surge their way through the hard point. Harry will double up, though. A couple of players trying to push through to influence those spawns. Harry does get shut down, and influence the spawns is exactly what they do. Bance with a read. Bance finds 3. Gets a couple of shots in towards Glow Frosty as well. Denza's the one to finish that gunfight. The spawns might have been manipulated here, and even more so because Wiz spawns in the backline for some godforsaken reason. Clutch Rain X4 now need to deal with him. They can't get the time because he's there. And I think a bit of a wayward spawn there kind of draws the ire of Clutch Rain X4 for those plans.
Yeah, but you had parallel spawns on the east side of the mini-map for both of these two teams. And I think that it was just really awkward timing for one member for Clutch Rain X4 that was still at least through the halfway mark of this map that still influenced the spawn for Wiz. I'd have to go back and really replay that one. But regardless, Clutch Rain X4 are able to at least turn it into a good situation for them. Denza's up on 5 in a row as a rival, so would love to be able to play this bicycle, but there's no trophy system, so he's going to get naded down to 33 HP. There's also a little flank that's currently being worked on. Harry's watching it through bathrooms, but Wiz will gun him where he previously stood. And the break is surely on from here on out. Spart is just continuously dismantling these Europeans of Clutch Rain X4, now up to 28 and 20.
Spart firing on all cylinders now. Houston Spartans already starting to get to that point as well. Fire for a double through boxes. Surely not but 3. He's trying to get the regen gear, trying to play his life for long enough. Cobra can't find this kill. And there's the backup coming through from Fire as well. Fire plays his life perfectly, has the team shots from a teammate. Now looking for number 6. Denza's going to pick up that gunfight, so will deny what would be his second Predator missile of this game. And yet, or cruise missile, excuse me, of this game. But yet still, Houston Spartans now 60 points to the good over the Clutch Rain X-War. For the last few hard points, that lead just has not changed.
I'll say we got Pred missiles? Like,
dude, I'm in a combo mindset right now.
Let's go, dude. I'm here for it. We're the specialists at 204 to 148. Clutch Rain X-War. Have the transition over towards P5, but all the spawns and the assistance is all the way back over by the Whale Garage, and Houston Spartans were not aware of that situation at all. Cobra's going to be able to find a very free 2-piece, has been at least leading his team a lot in this KD so far of this map number 1, and a crucial moment at that for Clutch Rain X-War. Houston Spartans don't have a cruise missile like they did in the first set to break this, but they're doing it the old-fashioned way with their gunnies in through the bridge.
Yeah, just how many times is this going to happen here? Houston Spartans taking time away from Clutch Rain X-War. That lead is growing to an uncontainable bound at this point. Spart having a hell of a game at 27 and 19. A pivotal moment here in this series if Houston Spartans are able to take this map number 1 away, and they look like I'm not going to do it off the back of this hard point, but they might be able to do it off the back of the next. Denza will find a couple of kills here.
Gosh.
Fire and Wiz very quickly removes the 2 players that were there off the back of the hill. Fire once again on 5 in a row will be shot 1 short of the cruise missile. Houston Spartans now 20 points away from victory in this game. 29 points, I should say. Clutch Rain X-War, though, they are in control. They've got to fight through for spawns P2, though.
It's like a collective, like, almost 5 cruise missiles between Wiz, Fire, and Spart. Spart, of course, being able to at least get that one sim for Fire. It's just absolutely absurd. These guys are firing off on all cylinders here for this very important Saturday opening match. 2:33 and counting up. Houston Spartans looking good for the dub here.
Yeah, just one more wave of gunfights would secure it. Clutch Rain X-War, no choice but to just head up the stairs. Head up the Eskies. Cobra will find a couple of kills. Wiz does trade things out for a 1. He's a constant nuisance, though. It's going to drain time off the clock, even for the drop shot. Get some shots in towards Denza. That's going to remove him from potential fight here. Houston Spartan's going to go for this one. Spart, 1 kill. Even if they keep Clutch Rain inside this time, they've got that rotation to P2.
Big 1v1 actually happening over by the rotation as well. It is currently Wiz versus Harry, and Harry's going to be able to have the Semtex. So now all the attention for Houston Spartans has to go past the lobby, and that gives you a free avenue to maybe try to work your way down the escalators, but it's a pinstripe kill feed. 2 for 2 so far. You got players over by the hot dog stand, and Denza shows up when it matters most for 3 in a row. Houston Spartans still spawning in the back.
You're still fighting this one from the front, though. Houston Spartans, as you said, they've got those back spawns through. Now looking to contest once again. Clutch Rain X-War here. They know that Houston Spartans are going to take their time with this one. They just need 12 seconds. Clutch Rain X-War can't finish regardless. There's the first fight coming through from Denza. Glowfrosty looking for the jump down. Shots in. Surely team shots should be good enough to remove Denza from the situation. No, not when Cobra is there covering his teammates from afar, though. Fire able to line a couple of players up. Harry, now a big 1v1 to keep these guys out. He needs to try and keep these guys at bay. And the Houston Spartans now with those kills should be able to close out this hard point. No, nade over the top from Bance is going to keep them out. Houston Spartans still fighting for the last 7 seconds of time, and Cobra finds a double that will keep Houston Spartans away. They still can't get it done.
You got to rotate now. Houston Spartans still spawning over by P2, and look at the read from Clutch Rain. Bance was able to get the line of sight, at least through the doorway. Gets the read that everybody's pushing over by bridge, but Clutch Rain X-War, they hold the rotation towards New Houston Spartans, trying to break from the middle of the map.
We need to be in the hardpoint right now. We're on board with Glowfrosty. He's trying to fight a gunfight towards the street side. There's gunfights going down inside the hardpoint, and Clutch Rain X-War are winning the vast majority of them, but Fire's going to take Cobra out of Box's side. Denza, now a lot to do towards the front of this hill. Harry, big gunfight also by bridge. Clutch Rain X-War still winning all the crucial gunfights to keep Houston Spartans away. Fire's just going to contest this from the arcade machine, and now Bance here just trying to play his life, as is Cobra sat in that corner. They're finding the gunfights. They're still finding some kind of utility. Denza gonna find a kill, as is Harry. How on earth are Clutch Rain still alive?
Hey, you can't win here, though. Look at the rotation over towards P4. Wiz had needed that big gunfight, but still forces out a TK. Ow! But you still have the better side of the map if you are Clutch Rain. It's a square-up moment. It matters most here, but Fire for 2. The rotation might have been one off of that, but now it just comes down to Wiz.
Big kills for Wiz. He's only going to find one. Denza will win that gunfight. Clutch Rain X-War just 8 seconds away from a phenomenal comeback. Houston Spartans here not going to be able to do anything. They can't touch in time. How on earth do they not close that game out?
You had the spawns towards New. It came down to a massive play from Denza there on the P2 side, where you had the rest of his teammates all contesting for the old time. Denza just hits this A street and was able to convert it into 3 kills. And again, from the previous position for Clutch X War, you knew that Houston Spartans were still spawning in towards the back. And to your point, during that P2 escapade, you just had to contest from the front. They deliver on all of that. They played the trades, and they also get the read where the hit over towards P3 was coming from. Shout out Fire for as long as he contested over inside of P2, by the way. That was a massive moment, but still, when it mattered most, Clutch X War able to make the comeback happen, and we'll take a 1-0 lead in that series.
Well, we go from one close hardpoint game to another one here on Rio. Prolito Awakening now, a couple of kills, gives Omit Brooklyn control of the next hill. Looking to try and steal this game away from Laura Gaming. Laura, what do you got for us? Paul X needs to go huge here. Distracted with a player through the middle of the map. That's going to give them a little bit more room to maneuver through the mid-map, but they still need some heroics. Arsty's going to find his gunfight through the main street. He finds a second as well. Surely not number 3. The shots look relatively good against Awakening. Two-Real and Yuli will find the damage off the back of it as well, but Yuli still needs to find more. Laura Gaming trying to hold on to this game as Yuli goes down. 249. Omit Brooklyn desperately trying to find the last second here. Laura Gaming, they're going to be in, fighting this one from the front perch with the TK. Two-Real and Arsty's finding the gunfights, and Laura Gaming get it done. 250 to 249. How the heck have we just been gifted back-to-back Rio hardpoints like that?
I don't know, but I think we all need to start hard vetoing Rio Hardpoint if it's going to make my blood pressure spike like this.
I'm not healthy, dude. I do not have the health for this.
That is insane. We hopped in, and it was just about a 15-point game in between the two. The rotation was there for P3 out of Omit Brooklyn. They had the back spawns. The contest through the bathroom side over by the arcade machine was massive. The trophy system also able to keep Paul and his teammates very much so alive. Unscathed from nades was even bigger than the TK that came through. I believe it was Purge that TK'd Awakening there at the end, trying to get back in towards the back doors for the contest. And now we get a chance to breathe a little bit. And I say that marginally as we get back over towards 5MC versus SGP Midnight. Again, it was a very close hard point through and through, at least through 2 sets of hard points. But 5 Media Clan are just slaying the hell out all weekend long. They have a 1-round lead in the Search and Destroy. A crucial map 2 win you would fear for SGP Midnight here.
You cannot let 5 Media Clan win this. As I said, they look to have changed quite a bit in Search and Destroy coming into this event. The coaching staff has worked hard with this team to ensure that they fix all the holes in their gameplay to become the best European team competing in challenges. Eric Boone, they're going to take down his Spanish brethren. Rencor down for the count here in this round. Now SCP Midnight, 1 man up. What do they do with it on the defense? Well, not a lot. Journey's going to take Temp out through the middle of the map here. 5 Media Clan going to get this bomb down, but it is still technically a 2 versus 3 on site. 1 player wrapping in behind enemy lines. Super has already been tagged up, though. He just needs to burn some time off the clock against SGP Midnight. Gunfights on both sides. Super, a lot to do. Overwhelmed in the 2 versus 1.
I'm gonna have to try to do this with all 3 ARs. Oh, Cap picks the best angle. Leaves Journey in a 1v2. Has to hit the route all the way around through security. He might just try to double dip through you. The bomb's being defused. Journey, you gotta check this. Does he have the angle? He throws the shoulder, air cops off.
And now they know where it's coming from. Erica's reliant on Assault watching over him. Assault needs to win this 1 versus 1, and of course Assault's got the gunny. He's got the ice. Journey's not winning that. SGB Midnight, they make the retake work.
Yeah, good day for world champions here in Challengers. You saw RCD stat line in that Rio map number 1. Assault is delivering on all of those goods, plus some extra as well. Again, not too sure how much everybody in the venue got to see from Assault there in that map number 1, but this guy is going on an absolute tear. The locks are looking good there for Adam Assault, I'm sure, in venue, but that is a massive moment. And Journey had the angle, just had to peek, got Eric off of the bomb, but of course had to go for the double check. You only had 1 play there in the 2v1. You hop it, I watch. I'd feel pretty damn comfortable if I had Adam Assault watching over top of me as I defuse the bomb. He's up to 5 in a row, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd feel even more comfortable if I've got him on 5 in a row. 1 kill away from a cruise missile that would change everything in this Search and Destroy. SGP Midnight is going to try and get the bomb down over by A. Nobody from 5 Media Clan will be able to stop it. Temp being pressured around the back line. Tries to take 1 fight. A little bit of a bait and switch there. A Super will be the one to finish off that gunfight in the end. Rencor will also find Eric Boom on the other side as well. So last couple of players here Just absolutely insane trying to pull off this 2 versus 4. Cap's not going to find any value. It would be a 1 versus 4 for Assault, but crucially, he does find the 6th kill in a row for the cruise missile. So whether or not this round goes his way, it doesn't really matter too much. He almost makes a good go of it, though. 2nd kill will be good. Journey going to trade things out. So it is a round to 5 Media Clan, but still a win ultimately for SGP Midnight.
Yeah, I mean, you're trailing by 1, but now you have a resource advantage as well. Just comes down to the adaptation game going forward as we continuously trade these rounds back and forth between these two teams. Again, just feel the tension, even in winners round 1. Already made it out of groups, but this is a crucial one to be able to kick off this championship bracket the way that you see fit. What are we going to do here on offense now if you are 5 Media Clan? Their hit over towards A was good, but the post plant got dismantled very quickly. And wouldn't you know it, for an offense on Search and Destroy, you kind of need that bomb, Brody. I hear it's important.
Now, so I think 5 Media Clan have worked something out in Search and Destroy. Obviously, they made a lot of improvements, but they actually don't need the bomb in this situation. I think there's just something. It must be like the EU special source, right? I think that's the difference maker in the situation. I don't know, but they haven't got the special source for the first blood, it would seem, because Journey's already down for the count.
I was about to say, man. I don't know what you're talking about. It's special sauce. They get first blooded. Yakko trying to find that trade, not here by himself. Rancor's also here by his side. Yeah, good coverage as well. I mean, the trades are immediate. Now it's just Assault and Temp, 2v3.
Oh, Rancor. Oh, it doesn't even matter. I was going to say he's going to get COD timing. He picks up Assault regardless. That's the cruise missile out of the round. Tem now has to pull off a 1 versus 3. Gets the first. How do Yakko and Super play this one on the defense? They are relatively split. There wouldn't be an immediate trade coming out from Super if Yakko does go down. Tem's on the hunt. Sniffs blood in the water. Sniffs out Yakko, but it's not enough for the frag. 5 Media Clan, 1 round away from a 2-0 lead to send SGP Midnight into the lower bracket.
I mean, it's just interesting, right? Like, when you're looking at it from SGP Midnight's perspective, you get the first blood, and then you try to take more space away. And there are some no-nos when it comes down to being able to find a first blood and Search and Destroy, especially on defense, is that you could just post up, hold an irons, play a corner, whatever it may be, but the isolation of trying to go for the challenge again on a Yakko, albeit one-shot, Rancor had the assistance there as well. Then for the very late attempt for the trade, was just that, very late. Every round a crucial one going forward here for SGP Midnight as they try to assault the poolside.
Open things up with the first blood here. Crucially, the player that's out is not going to be Assault, but losing both Cap and Eric Boom for the start of this round is a pretty damning indictment on it, and I think that cruise missile, is already going to come out. Assault is still in this situation. It sends 5 Media Clan inside. The call-out will also be made to Temp that somebody was hiding inside the bar. So Journey goes down, but Temp actually escaping here is going to be a real achievement. He tries to go into the water for the coverage, and apparently I don't think he's leveled up with stealth stat. He's not escaping that. Assault now needs to pull up the 1 versus 3.
Yeah, forgot to pick up the active camo inside the Tiki Bar first. They're just hovering around the detonator as well. Assault's going to be able to find a freebie. So full HP, gets away with his life. He's got time to work this map here, Brody, but the biggest issue is that Yakko and Super are doubled up together trying to find this kill, and if he found that first one scot-free and then maybe could have retransferred back over towards U-Haul for another 1v1, we could be talking about going in towards another round, but that is not the universe we live in. 5 Media Clan. Again, much like how that map 1 on this very venue was very, very competitive through the first half of the map. 5 Media Clan just barely pull ahead when this 6-3.
Yeah, I thought for a second there that even with Assault losing that round number 7, that him having that cruise missile would have made the difference there towards the back half of the game. It does not. 5 Media Clan overwhelmed. And as you said, 2-0 lead now over SGP Midnight does not look good for the North Americans. Got a lot of games to go through here. We're seeing a 1-0 lead for the Houston Spartans over, for Clutch Next War, over the Houston Spartans off the back of that phenomenal Rio hardpoint. And now we go into yet another 6-star Search and Destroy.
Yeah, and this is where things get very interesting for Houston Spartans for a multitude of reasons, because 6-star was not a Search and Destroy map that they played all through the Elite season at all, and pretty sure even through yesterday, and they played it one time and they lost a round 11, wouldn't you know it, or gaming. So, gonna have to really reconsider what went wrong yesterday. Probably went back to watch that VOD, because if there's one thing you gotta know about this Clutch Rain X War roster, they're pretty good at Search.
Yeah, you think?
They're not bad. They're not bad. I like, Denza's not helping out my argument here being 0-3, but yeah, I mean, like, Cobra's been a reaper for Search and Destroy since he's bounced on the scene.
Look, I will say this much. I'll be contrarian for just a second here, because it should be said that Clutch Rain X War, Search and Destroy was their weakest game mode back in Season 3, and it is going to be the thing I think they'll definitely be working on coming into Champs. It didn't really look like they worked on it all that much yesterday. Still got a long way to go, I think, before we consider them a stellar Search and Destroy team, but they've got all the parts to make it work. Talent on side. Talk about Danger as one of those players that's a Search and Destroy mastermind. For now, in this round, though, Houston Spartans here, looking to try and draw first blood. They've got the bomb down without it, and I think Fire trying to catch somebody off guard on the retake in this situation. Wiz already tagged up, though. Clutch Rain on the hunt for these kills. Bance finds a couple of kills, though. That's damning for Houston Spartans here.
Now you're all just left alive. 2v3, question marks raised. What timing can you find? Kamza able to get the turn and burn, and now the information is mutual. 15 seconds remains, and Harry going to be able to take down Glowfrosty as soon as he tries to retreat back over towards the P2 side. Oh, it got dicey. I mean, Glowfrosty put a really good argument there at the end, but not enough HP nor understanding of where Harry was going to be coming from there at the end. Clutch Rain X War able to tie things up.
Man, look at this long-range shot from Harry, by the way. Look how close Glowfrosty is to getting away, getting out of dodge. He gets that two-piece. If he gets that third kill, or just gets away in that situation, he wins that round. There's no way that Harry's chasing him down and getting the defuse. So, almost makes the clutch up happen, but it's not going to go his way. 2-2. Now in this Search and Destroy. Talked about Denza's speciality in Search and Destroy strategy, at least. He's currently 0-4. If he can find himself on the board, it might be the kickstart that Clutch Rain X will need to really start to take control of this Search and Destroy. For now, though, it's not happening. Spark going to draw that first blood against Bance. Fortunately enough, it's not an integral player to the play call. It feels like Clutch Rain X War are trying to make the push over towards A.
That is the island player, though. Houston Spartans are a little late to this reaction as well. I mean, Fire is currently jumping around inside of you, but now you're kind of forced to play this retake. You have full coverage across this this A bomb site, excuse me, for Clutch Rain X War. It's like that the plan is mostly going to be set up for the security side.
Stun over the top from Glowfrosty. The tag. That Semtex isn't actually going to connect on towards Harry either. If anything, the biggest issue for the Houston Spartans here on this retake, pushing from behind, is going to be Cobra, but he might just be overwhelmed here. Down to 7 HP off the back of the first fight. Wasn't nearly ready enough for the second. Denza's already removed himself from the site to find the first gunfight. Shots are actually pretty good in towards the second, but does not walk away with a frag. And he's going to get overwhelmed from the middle of the map here. Spark was already on the defuse. Regardless, it's a retake from the Houston Spartans.
Sure is. Again, I mean, being able to find that first blood on the Bance, if there's anything you can go back and rewatch for 6-star when it comes down to this Clutch Rain X War roster, they love to have that island player. Realistically, it's across a lot of Search and Destroy maps. We've seen it a lot for this roster, the multitude of different iterations of that roster that Bance loves to be that island player. High-Rise, most notoriously, I should say. And it's the same thing that they attempt to do here on 6-star with Bance trying to find value over by the pool side, try to go for the bait. And he did pull a lot of the defenders to start looking through the middle of the map and over towards B, but once you have a 4v3, you just overwhelm with numbers. Good team shots coming through for Houston as they are able to take a one-round lead.
Alrighty, well, not much splitting these teams at the moment. Clutch Rain X War this time around, playing this one as a full 4-stack through the middle of the map. Cobra will split off from that. Clutch Rain X War now going to have to do what Houston Spartans did on the previous round. It's flank coming through. Glowfrosty's watching it, but overwhelmed. Couple of players, and it's not long before Glowfrosty's taken out of the round now. So Clutch Rain X War approaching from both sides of this retake. Cobra taking some shots in. Houston Spartans now looking to defend this site. Denza penetrating it. Going to get the first kill versus Spark. Now these players are split up as well. It's Harry for the second kill. Wiz, the last player left alive. He tries to make it happen from under. He's going to get shut down. It's a perfect retake from Clutch Rain X War.
Sure is. Again, I mean, Bance being that island player, the guy's been doing it for quite a long time. Able to work his way inside of security. Just realistically, it's just the ability that Clutch Rain X War have just to play their lives in all of its entirety as well. It's just never really felt like that they were out of control when it came down towards this round of Search and Destroy. So again, not much going back and forth between these two teams. The question almost has to start surfacing on when is a team going to be able to win a multitude of rounds in a row. These adaptations are really going to start to raise some eyebrows, I'm sure, for these two teams. Even for a lot of people probably watching inside of the venue at this current juncture of time as well. Harry up to 8-3, continuing on with that tear that we saw in map number 1. Same thing could be said for Sparta up to 7-3.
Our performance on both sides right now. Clutch Rain X War will slow things down significantly here in this round. Waiting for the Houston Spartans to get aggressive. Same manner they have for the most part. Yeah, Denza with a read that Fire's made that jump up towards balcony side. one too many times in this SSJ so far, but doesn't actually walk away with a frag. It doesn't really earn Clutch Rain X War that much beyond that one bit of information here. You've got very little map control. Wiz was entrenched pretty deep in towards the B site. He's not going to have to back up here. Bance wants to get this done through the water. He needs to find a kill, needs to find something before this bomb goes down, and there it is. There is Wiz.
Gotta really tip this out of Houston Spartans. I mean, they see Bance again over by the pool side, but they don't buckle. It wasn't actually an A execute. How much information is actually here for both these two teams? Because Fire is currently finessing inside of the vents, waiting for a 1. Cobra's watching it. Good pickup as well, but Spart's there for the trade. 2v3.
Glowfrosty getting it done as well, and he plays his life. Second time he's made a huge play happen here over by the pool side.
Gosh.
Spark will pounce on towards that gunfight, and now Cobra for the wrap back through the middle. Might he just line up these players? Gets the first, doesn't actually finish the first gunfight. If he could have finished off Glowfrosty before the rechal against Spark, that is significantly more possible, but Cobra, unable to finish his food in one go, has to go back for a second, and Spark whips him away.
10-3 now for Spart. And again, when you have this AR duo last alive in a 2v odd situation, you cannot sleep on how much time that these two players actually have spent together on a championship caliber team. Way back when, NYSL Academy, Cold War days, playing with Hydra. These guys have been here before together. You could just see that in the teamwork. Good stun over the top for Glowfrosty to isolate for Spart to be able to get that kill onto the pistol. You almost have to think a full magazine away for Cobra to be able to clutch that 1v2.
Alrighty, well, Houston Spartans once again in the lead. Denza looking for the first blood, gets overwhelmed by Wiz towards the side. There's no immediate trade coming on through now, so Houston Spartans might feel confident enough to try and get the bomb down. Heel's now starting to go down. Wiz going to find a second. Wiz going to find a third to close out the round. It's a fast and furious effort from Houston Spartans this time around on that push towards site, and they'll get it.
Yeah, and I love this call coming through from Houston Spartans. Again, something's got to give here, as we've been seeing. Play for information via the nades, the stuns in the middle of the map, ceremoniously as it is here on 6-star Search and Destroy. The Houston Spartans just say, hey, you know what's been working out quite wonderfully for us through the online periods and all the stages as well, is our aggression. And it's a great call at that. They just completely catch Clutch Rain X War lacking over by the pool side. Belittle them with bullets and isolating gunfights. As Wiz and Spart are up to a combined 7 spree, sitting up on map point here.
Houston Spartans now. They've made their gamble in this round. This is a look on the defense, or the offense, excuse me, from Clutch Rain X War that we have seen previously. Just waiting for Houston Spartans to get aggressive. It is more or less the same look as well here on the defense from Houston Spartans, right? Fire is in that same position, pushed up towards the balcony side. Clutch Rain War know it. Just need to try and find a way on towards site. It is worth saying that if they want to get the bomb down at B, they shouldn't really have too much of a struggle in doing so. The only real problem is Spark across the middle of the map.
Yeah, and he's watching this cross like a hawk. And then Fire's playing for that alarm bell to get rung. So maybe he could try to push all the way through the vent side, but this time it's Harry that's going to be waiting for that push, expecting it to happen. And this is going to slide across, and he's the only information that Spart's able to gather for himself. So you only know that one player's over here, but it was Denza. Are you aware that much for Houston Spartans? That is the bomb carrier. It's a good play down here, I think.
I think Bance is looking for some retake fights here. You can see him sat on the minimap in the corner in a position that Houston Spartans are not likely to check. He is the playmaker here. Also, gunfights going down on the flank as well. Cobra going to get cut down. Now Harry needs to find some value. Bance all of a sudden, his position becomes much more untenable. He needs to try and help out his teammates. Harry gets shut down. Denza also going to lose his gunfight up top. And now Bance is just trying to stay all quiet, like trying to survive a 1 versus 4. Not when Spart's on the prowl. Houston Spartans 3 rounds on the bounce as they take the search and destroy.
Yep, 6-3 in those last 3 rounds. I would say we're pretty convincing at that, especially for that retake. I mean, the bomb gets planted, sure, but I mean, with Spart being able to get the information that Denza slid across, and then you also were able to throw the peek out for Fire there on the P2 side over by the vents. He calls for the immediate assistance. I mean, you remember what happened to Lou last time. He got gunned by Cobra because they were watching it, so he calls for assistance. The pinch comes through. We got ourselves a tight series there in winners round 1. A lot of matchups happening across the board there in Dallas, Texas for Challengers Champs, and one that we had a lot of eyes on is finally underway. And once you know it, it's Rio Hardpoint. And once you also know it, it's very close.
That Rio Hardpoint and close finishes, well, the match made in heaven, it would seem, so far today. And Oma EU right now just about to take the lead in this game. 13 seconds left on that Hardpoint now, looking to make the rotation happen here. Brack's going to catch a couple of players off guard. Now, I'm just going to try and look for the weapons to see that who is Challenge 07 and who is Challenge 08. It's going to be difficult to pass here for Oma EU. But regardless, Oma EU now looking for control of this hill. They've currently got it. Rex now trying to pressurize from up top. Exceed flies down towards the Hardpoint and will get punished for it. FaZe Black trying to find their way through. Rex will pick up one gunfight. Asim also on the flank, going to get cut down now. Rex, no choice but to push forward. And this is not working for FaZe Black. They can't get through.
I'm trying to also guess here on who Challenge 8
It's difficult,
and 7
isn't it?
are. 'Cause, I mean, I saw the MCW kill come through for Challenge 8, 24 and 17. Like, maybe it's Weeman, but I also saw just the corner being played by Boxes with an MCW as well for Challenge 7. It could be either one. I don't know.
Someone
This is
get
a
out of
fun
sub.
guessing game. This is a fun guessing game, but it's a great P4 so far for Omid EU. And talk about a guy that needs to show up big for this team. To go back to their dominance winning ways that we saw through a multitude of Challengers tournaments, elites included, this Omid EU roster. It fixed up to 6 in a row. Same for Hixie, 26 and 21. Doesn't have that streak, but a good resource to have for yourself as this lead has now grown to a whole hard point.
Yeah, that is a massive hard point coming through for Omid EU here. FaZe Black now need to get control of this next hill. Streak going to come down. It's not really going to do all that much. Brack will instead get a couple of kills, though, for FaZe Black here. So they will now have control. Omid EU going to be spawning on that cafe side, but there's bot players watching this one. You've got AR coverage stopping them off the spawn. Rex is able to pick up a couple of players before they even get anywhere near close to that hard point. This has been a successful hold so far off this hill for FaZe Black.
See this majority time coming through for FaZe Black, and again, they're actually electing to take more of a cover to the middle of the map because the cruise missile forces them to do so, and it allows for Omid EU to take further space over by the bridge, but Dylan Rex has been so good since the acquisition for him coming in towards his FaZe Black roster, up on 5 in a row. The centering is so good, the damage even more, and the finesse soon after runs out of bullets, can't get the 6. He will be shut down. Not as good as a hard point as FaZe Black were wanting for themselves. It was a good call for the cruise missile there out of Omid EU.
Yep. FaZe Black will get about 30 seconds. And that's about the lead between these two teams as well. 40 as a matter of fact. Quick maps there. Black will double up once more though. 30 and 22 having a stellar game so far. So he's going to play his life for information. Back towards the hill he goes now to try and help out his teammates. They've read where Omid EU is spawning and they're picking up the gunfights as well. Omid EU have to be careful about this. They're going to go down. They're still spawning out on that cafe side. But Exceed is already looking to go through towards the next kill. FaZe Black are finding the kills. They've got the gunnies inside this hard point. Omid EU again. They're pushing this from bridge side over and over again here, Andy.
Yeah, I'm starting to question this method of the madness here for Omid EU because they are currently getting bottlenecked through you as well. Rex has a submachine gun in hand, and although we don't see it too often, this guy shoots pretty damn straight no matter the weapon he has, and the alarm bell was immediately rung for Exceed. Once those gunfights happen through top mall, Exceed push all the way through the past the Glizzy stand, but they're missing one player. Player number 7 for Omid EU is still very much on the backside of the P2 spawns. FaZe Black not really aware of it, but still Omid EU spawning very far out.
07 still a lot to do here. Spawn out now for FaZe Black as well. We've got the parallels. Omid EU looking to win these opening gunfights. 07's going to find a couple of kills. Not only the influence spawns, but they find 2 kills. Now in behind, though. Brack has got behind enemy lines. He's done some serious damage. Can he find the second gunfight? No. 08's going to shut him down. Omid EU still not in control. And as I say it, they pick up 3 gunfights. Now they've got control. But Wayward spawns come through once again. Asim now in behind.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a multitude of different reasons, right? You had a player push all the way through top center. That's going to be player number 8. And then you also had Hixie trying to finesse all the way through garage. So that, yeah, that's going to influence spawn to maybe be a little bit more wayward. And Exceed is currently reaping because of it as well. A big 2-piece for Caden. 20 seconds left to soak over here on P2. The rotation over towards P3 is a massive one. Omid EU just need to hold on as FaZe Black are going to be able to flip the lead.
Team kill from Brack's not going to help. Already, see Vortex winning that gunfight on the rotation towards New. Mythic's keeping an eye on Box's side. Big 1 versus 1. He's going to find it versus Exceed. Omid EU, though, they gave a lot of time to FaZe Black on that scrap. FaZe Black are now just 8 seconds away from victory. Omid EU, they can't let FaZe Black in once towards this time right now. Vortex looking for some kind of kill. Exceed, Rex and Brack, all of them finding value. They surge towards the time. Omid EU spawning in Narnia, and FaZe Black will strike first here on yet another close Rio hardpoint.
I mean, it was like dominoes, man. Like, they just set themselves up for the pinch through boxes, the bridge side, and then just flooded through the middle of the map. And there's Exceed just telling him how much he appreciates the Europeans flying across the pond for some really good competition here at Challengers Finals. I'm sure that's exactly the words that's coming out of Gates about, for sure. But still, hey, nonetheless, it was a very competitive one. Exceed didn't exactly drop a bombshell of performance, but tested at a certain moments of time. It just felt like that the pin finally dropped when those spawns started to get overly manipulated there on the P2 side, that it forced Omid EU to play a little bit more honest towards the backside of P3.
All right, well, we're jumping back into 5 Media Clan versus SGP Midnight now. 5 Media Clan able to steal the Search and Destroy away, but they are currently 2-1 down here in this control. 5 Media Clan also on the offense here, so that means SGP Midnight should have been able to take one of these offenses away. Can they do anything? Can 5 Media Clan get the clean 3-0 here? Well, they're offering some kind of resistance here on this offensive effort. At the very least here, despite being down 4 life as we jump in here, Randy, they are still in some kind of map control.
25v20, and Bruce Missile also getting invested as well. Journey trying to finesse to the bottom side of the map as well, just trying to help his teammates, maybe try to get a little bit further map positioning. It's going to allow Yaka to get on the B zone, but where's the assistance? I mean, you had some maybe push through the middle of the map, through the bottom side as well, and it's going to force the hand of Rancor to step on this A zone. Can't stay alive for long.
Rancor will get a kill with the trophy system. 5 Media Clan still an opportunity over by A. Trophy system going to go down from Journey. Map coverage now being provided by Yako here. 5 Media Clan an opportunity. Yako's going to double up. Assault's going to remove Journey from A. There should be a trade coming through from Rancor. The shots from afar might make it more difficult. Rancor finishes the gunfight regardless. Over the top, Yako takes an egregious challenge that Eric Boom will take him down. But regardless, the kills are here for 5 Media Clan. They're starting to get some map control, starting to get those spawn trap kills, but Rancor goes down.
Gotta get this segment, though, this last segment, and nobody for SGP Midnight's realistically in a position to maybe try to contest this. So yeah, 60 seconds should be added on towards support here. Can you find any exits, though, if you are SGP Midnight? And the answer is absolutely. What was about a 5-life lead got diminished to just be about even at 14 apiece. It was a good transition from the captured B zone. Journey's gonna get crossed up there, and it's a trade on the Capsule, who's trying to get over towards the green tarp. But with 60 seconds remaining and only 8 lives, you feel like 5 Media Clan, this push needs to be a good one.
They have to do this as a team. I don't want to see any wayward efforts coming out from any player on the roster. Journey goes forward, gets shut down by Assault. Rancor trying to get in a key position here for some kind of map control. At the very least, did just spot out attempt towards top heli's side. Eric Boom, long-range shots good enough against Rancor. 5 Media Clan can't find anything on the transition here. Super will take Eric Boom down. So there is that. But you need to be perfect. You can't lose a single player. There goes Yako. There goes Rancor and Super as well. A little bit now reliant on Journey for what would be a 1 versus a hell of a lot of players. SGP Midnight not allowing the comeback to come through from 5 Media Clan. And they will extend this series to a map number 4.
And I can't say that I'm utterly surprised. And it does feel a little strange talking ill about the Spanish being bad at Control for a season, because it always feels like that it's a game mode that they are very, very good at. But Control hasn't exactly been friendly to 5 Media Clan through the entirety of this tournament, at least thus far. And SGP Midnight able to take advantage of that, staying alive in this best of 5. Again, this is only winners round 1, so you still have that extra life for the lower bracket. You just don't want to go down there too early.
Don't want to be at the lower bracket at this stage of the competition. I'll tell you what, the one team that are actually pretty good in the lower bracket are Clutch Train X War. They're currently 1-1 with the Houston Spartans. I do want to kind of focus in, I know I've just gone to Clutch Train X War, on what's going on with Omit Brooklyn and Laura Gaming, though, because right now we're in a map number 3 between those two teams. And Laura Gaming here, 2-0 up against the Season 3 Challengers Elite Champions. But you got to remember, Andy, they were also 2 up yesterday versus the Houston Spartans.
Never count these boys out. You just can't. And the amount of time that they spent together, and also just the drive that they have as well. I brought it up minorly yesterday, that Purge. I mean, what a chance this guy has to potentially go back-to-back Challengers champions with an Omit team. Amy Awakening, Prelude, Purge, all 4 of these players trying to find their way back in the league. But you could say the same thing on the opposite side.
Yeah. Right now, Omit Brooklyn and Law Gaming going scrap for scrap. 22 versus 22 in terms of lives. Omit Brooklyn now vying for some kind of map control here. Law Gaming, they're the ones currently in control of it. Paulex taking some shots up against players on the other side of this heli, trying to find some value, but Awakening's going to shut him down. Now Omit Brooklyn, a chance to get something done on either of these 2 points. They were close to capturing B. Purge going to get taken off, though. Omit Brooklyn now looking to fight back for some A control here. There's not able to get it done. 45 seconds left on the clock. They're trying to get players in these power positions. Camby being one of those players here. Has he actually done enough for Prelude to perhaps capture a B, a contest? Is it going to come through? No. So an extra 60 seconds do get added.
Yeah, but Prelude's the only one that's pushed up on the map, and he was still expecting Yuli to be over by the elevator side. Not going to be the case at all. Repositioned towards the backside of the defensive B lane. Map goes back to just being about even. Cammy gonna get some good information on the Turiel, who's trying to at least get behind enemy lines. This is gonna exhaust a lot of the game clock. It's 16v17, but you cannot allow Turiel to exist back here. for reasons like that.
Yeah. That's a full wipe coming through for Laura Gaming. You're now very concerned about this if you're Omit Brooklyn. You are stuck in your spawn. You're hoping that you can overwhelm the player that was deep, and you do. So that's step number one of a very long process here of escaping a spawn trap, and you don't really have that much time to get it done. 60 seconds on the clock. It's going to dwindle before your very eyes before you know it as well. And Laura Gaming is still finding these trades. Arstees now starting to heat up. Second kill for him here. Looking for number 3. Goes to the drop shot to try and escape Purge and hit the regen. Oh, tries to get away as well. And Purge's Semtex will actually connect on towards Awakening. So a bad situation will get even worse here. Omit Brooklyn down by 3 lives. But Cammy and Pro, they find a couple of kills here. They've escaped prison.
37 seconds remain, and Purge is able to get good information on a Yuli over by the elevator side. Bites off more than he can chew, though. And it's good information on where a handful of these players are. But Arcades is in championship form. 9-4 for Alec. 25 seconds remain, and Omit Brooklyn starting to run out of lives and time.
It's just that spawn trap. It's as damning as ever, isn't it? Awakening going to get shut down here. At the very least, again, Omit Brooklyn do have players out of that spawn trap, but they are sparing. Prolink will find 1 kill. Arstees getting extra bullets in the body. Hello. A little bit of confidence here in this series. And Arstees, why not? Beams Awakening for the second. A stellar start to this control, but it should be said, big asterisk here, because we're on high roads. You got to be winning those defenses.
You sure do, but I mean, you would love to be able to maybe convert at least a segment over towards A on the opening offense. The only reason for that being, of course, for round 5 defense, should you even want it. I mean, high rise, barring Karachi, of course, you do see a lot of transitions happen offensively, especially down here in Challengers, especially when Arcades is shooting like this. Golly. Think this guy wants it? It's up to 4 in a row. 11-4 start through 1 round for Arcades. Feeling the hot hand.
Yeah, Arstees has been on one this season since dropping down in Challenges for the very first time, being in Challenges. He has proven that he wants it more than anybody else. He's having a hell of a start to this series. 5 in a row. Will get cut short of that 6th kill for the cruise missile by Awakening. So that's a big shutdown to make, especially here on high rise with how open both of these control points are. Kills now being made though from Omit Brooklyn here on the defense. It's pretty convincing here. Arstees, the only one out of the spawn trap. If you can find any value whatsoever and give some kind of leniency to the teammates that are coming off the back of the spawn, it would be huge. Shots in against Prolute. Big gunfight down over by A, and Lore actually going to win the gunfight over on B side as well. Arstee's going to take Prolute down. Everything's going right for Lore.
Yeah, it sure is. Again, it's the transition off the returning gunfights coming through for Lore that they're able to catch Omit Brooklyn off guard, and it's all just the trades, and they're able to convert that over towards the B zone. 2 players strong, but the pinch through mid is surely going to be on for Purge. He's going to get traded by Paul, but that information should be mutual, but it's Arcades down low on another 4 spree. 16-5 for Arcades, looking for a potential another cruise missile.
He's trying to find the perfect route. And behind enemy lines, Yuli's going to be the one to pick up that kill against Cammy. Denied 1 cruise missile. Can he find it this time around? Tyriel's going to get shut down. Unfortunately enough, it's not Arstees that does fall. I think Purge knows, though. Trying to take all of these fights is foolhardy. Arstees now very quickly the last one left alive in this situation. He's all the way down to 70 HP. Going to hit the regen here, back up towards 150. But he's got a couple of threats right in front of him on A. If he gets both of these kills, it would be the cruise missile. There's number 1 trying to scrape the second run head first in towards Purge. Purge is more ready for that fight, and Arstees will once again be denied that cruise missile.
I mean, Arcades definitely had the snap there. If you get some hip fire, maybe headshot, you might be able to walk away with that one. But the Renetti, no joke. You are playing on local area network. 17-6 for Arcades. I mean, you probably reckon that he probably didn't even need the cruise missile because he's shooting absolute nukes. But Omit Brooklyn off the transition, bringing this life deficit down just to 1. Got a lot of good map control so far. They're going to get the red dot on the map for Yuli, and it is immediately traded. Now they can just try to work some of the spawn trap. But again, they get caught overextending. This gives TuReal another opportunity to get behind enemy lines.
Can he find any value is the question for me, though. Daddy's going to be activated here. Going to try and play all silent like. Needs to find something. Yuli's already found 1 kill elsewhere. That dead silence is about to be wasted unless he can pick up the kill on towards Purge. He does exactly that. Now the attention should turn his way from Omit Brooklyn's side. TuReal being shot at from the point. Wanted some kills to come off the spawn. It's not going to happen as Cammy's going to cut him down. And now for Lore Gaming. 25 seconds on the clock. You gotta go now. Arstee's going to open up proceedings with that first kill. Purge once again with a trade. No trophy system from Lore to stop any of this utility being thrown at them. Purge's Semtex going to find some value. Purge going to get a 3rd in a row as well. And Lore now down to the final set of respawns here. Yuli tagged up. 10 seconds on the clock. You've got very few options in this situation. Omit Brooklyn have players towards that spawn side as well. And it's a little bit closer here in this round on the defense for Omit Brooklyn, but it's a round win for them regardless.
Yeah, it definitely got dicey, and you feel like that the difference maker was going to be shutting down that immediate push that happened over towards A immediately. Should you been able to lock in that first segment, it would have been a very good opening offensive salvo, at least for Lore. But tied up in segments there. We'll transition. Venue will say the same, but over towards Clutch Rain X War versus Houston Spartans. Again, this is a series that is tied up in probably a very frustrating way for Houston Spartans, who just narrowly lost that Rio Hardpoint map one.
Yeah, Houston Spartans, though, the kind of roster to fight back against Clutch Rain X War. I'll be honest, I'm almost taken aback in a way that they let Clutch Rain X War play high-rise control. It's notably probably their single best map mode combination across the board. So Clutch Rain X War will be happy with the fact that they've got it here in this series. But we do go to a standard round number 5. Surprise, surprise here for high-rise control. And it is going to be Houston Spartans here on the defense to kick this one off. Clutch Rain X War not having to worry about a spawn trap just yet. Trying to find their way through the middle of the map. Denza's going to do exactly that. I believe he's making his way through pit side for that opening blood. But kills being made from the Houston Spartans. Fire almost turns and burns on towards Denza. But Denza's going to find that fight. Cobra also finds one towards the point, and yet still, it's not convincing enough. Clutch Rain X War, with 30 seconds on the clock, they still need to find some of these annoying kills against Houston Spartans, and they just can't.
Yeah, I mean, they're just struggling to be able to find a multitude of members for Clutch Rain X War to be able to be in a similar position, to be able to convert any segments whatsoever. I mean, the lives are close, but we're running out of time now. Just a single segment to show for your efforts here on B so far. Cobra over by Elevators, the only player that's pushed up to maybe try to make a threat over towards this B zone, especially with Denza getting shut down low. As Fire will find 2, this should surely be the round.
Should be. Harry goes down. Yeah, that's surely going to be it. Got to get your running shoes on to make it to either of these points. Wiz is not letting these guys get past spawn, and I was questioning why high-rise control was the map of choice here from Houston Spartans. Question it no more. Houston Spartans able to steal this one away from Clutch Rain X War. A big map to take away at that as they now take the lead in this best of 5. It is a huge, huge map to win.
And you really do feel like for Houston Spartans, like, should that transition over towards P3 actually go their way, this would have been a 3-0. And probably in a lot of their eyes, they're probably thinking that as well, but you cannot think that way. You got to get the job done here versus Clutch Rain X War. Again, you don't give those guys a single inch because they might turn it into a country-sized Walmart. You say everything is bigger in Texas at the end of the day, but Vista Hardpoint on the docket for those two as we transition towards another series. I think we should probably watch the conclusion of Lore versus Omid Brooklyn. Again, this is the potential conclusion of that, as you can also see 5 Media Clan probably going to be losing that map number 4 to SGP Midnight. They have about like an 80-point lead, but love to be proven wrong, I suppose.
We always doubly love... Wow, do you know what, mate? English.
We
always do love proving you wrong, is what I was trying to say. But you know what? I don't think that was worth coming out in the end anyway. Regardless, Purge in this game has already got a cruise missile on the back pocket ready to go. Keep an eye on that as we go further into this control. Omid Brooklyn now trying to regress on towards A. Awakening, going to hit the full regen here, ready for the second fight against Arstes, and he will get it. Now has the assistance of Purge on control zone as well. Yuli now, what can he do on the defense? Doesn't even really need to do anything. Paul X and Tyrell are the ones to pick up the gunfights. Lore Gaming successfully defend the point here for the moment. 40 seconds left on the clock here. Omid Brooklyn now vying for some map control. Can be able to double up. They're on their way.
Trying their best, so at least transition this. 30 seconds remaining, 8v5. There's not enough time to be able to isolate all of these gunfights. You just got to try to get a player on towards the zone, but continuous cutoff efforts. Paul also hitting through blue. Bring this down to a 6v5. 15 seconds remain.
Paul going to double up as well. A huge two-piece here on the defense as this round flips back in their favor. Omid Brooklyn now in a 3 versus 4. 8 seconds left. Gonna get it done with the gunny here. Purge gonna get shut down. There goes Awakening and a Pro Loot as well. They run right into the MCWs of Lore Gaming as they will close that round out. Again, though, a reminder here, despite the fact that I would presume, at least, that we've gone defense for defense so far in this control, there is that secret weapon now in the back pocket for Purge. Omid Brooklyn can use that at any time.
Yeah. I'd be saving that for a rainy round number 5, depending on how sticky this upcoming defensive round might happen. Again, everybody only able to capture just about 3 segments so far, so that is what you're looking at for Lore should they want the defensive side. Paul's up 5 in a row, by the way, so potential to be able to even up the resource. Purge currently holds in his back pocket with that cruise missile. 1v1 through the middle of the map. Paul just kind of tickling the opposite side versus Cammy. Tyrell has just been wildly aggressive. I mean, he just chows first and looks at corner second as Purge is just going to lay prone inside of Elevators, take him down, but it's Yuli on the opposite side to find value. 2 real, it's just been wildly aggressive. I mean, he just chows first and looks at corner second as Purge is just going to lay prone inside of Elevators, take him down, but it's Yuli on the opposite side to find value.
Kills off the start of this round for Allura Gaming here, trying to get something going for a potential spawn trap. Udi does get shut down, but he's already done the job here. He's bought Allura a lot of space and a lot of time. This effort over towards B. We talked about Purge having a streak. Well, Paul X has got one off the back of this 6-3 that he's got going into this round. Now he wants to get the kills for it. It's not going to get anything. It will send Omid Brooklyn down low, though. So you know where they're going to regress from, and yet still, Paul X is not able to win the engagement on towards Awakening. You know he's going to have to trade things out, and oh no, Spaghetti-O T-Real will trade out with a Semtex against his own teammate, and that offensive effort from Allura Gaming falls apart.
And now you have to start asking yourself this question, right? Like, what do you have to do just to be able to convert enough of these segments? Otherwise, Allura Gaming are going to be staring down the barrel of a round 5 offense. 45 seconds remain. Lives aren't too far gone, and T-Real's finding gunfights on the transition as well. Prolute, the bottom side of the map. How much can he find? Oh, he just doesn't expect Yuli to swing so wide right there. He's been doing it all year long. In our cities also takes down Awakening, so now that's blue, opened up. Yuli's on the B zone, has coverage there from Paul X top. Propane to overwatch this play.
Tree comes down from Omid Brooklyn here, I think.
Yeah.
To send Laura away. Not exactly like it was fully being threatened, to be fair, but still, Allura Gaming here, I think that was maybe an effort to stop Law from having defense for round number 5, and yet still they are slowly but surely capturing over by B side. Omid Brooklyn not investing in towards it, but as T-Real goes down now, they might think they should. Arsty's what's watching the middle of the map. Purge will take him down. They stop the third tick from going through. Paul X going to be protecting the middle of the map. Will pick up one. Trades now looking pretty good. Awakening going to have the final sight towards the point. So B has been stopped, but Allura Gaming off the start here, they want A.
Yeah, they sure do. Trying to at least get that third segment would be massive for them, because then it would go down to kills for a potential round 5, depending on the outcome here. You get the cruise missile got invested, so you don't have that ace up your sleeve anymore. If you are Omid Brooklyn, it just comes down to your corners, and the gunny as well. Awakening, trying to get some assistance there from the hole there of the post, and it just does not come through. So Lore trying to contest over towards the B zone, will finally get it. 60 seconds added on towards the board, and how this transition goes might just be the outcome of the map.
I tick not through yet. Finally it will be as Purge goes down. Okay, we can breathe here for a second. 80 seconds on the board for Allura Gaming to make this transition happen. They're already starting to threaten. Prolute's behind enemy lines here, trying to cut the problem off at the source. Gets the kill on towards T-Real to do exactly that. There are still annoyances to be dealt with. Allura Gaming players that have escaped. Orlex was one of them. Arstes now is the only one in that position. And Omid Brooklyn, they're on the hunt. They're trying to find anything they possibly can. Arstes now going to take some shots. The call out now should be made that, hey, Arstes has broken out of the jail. He's now looking to cause some issues over by B side. He picks up Awakening. Now looking for number 2. Up close and personal. Arstes gets it done. And elsewhere, Paul X and T-Real all's going to find some value here. So Allura Gaming will jump on the point.
They're all dead. You just got to step on the zone. RCD needs to stay alive. 5 spree as well for Alec. If he can try to finesse this 6 kill, could be the cruise missile. We'll call it in immediately.
Why the heck not? Your Arstes in this situation. Awakening's going to shut Arstes down. You got to touch. Nobody from the Omid Brooklyn can get there. Allura Gaming take this map away, and they will shut Omid Brooklyn out.
3-0 against Omid Brooklyn. Again, a roster that was designed to win championships. They were able to win Season 3 of Challengers Elite North America. They went out on an absolute bang for the online stage. They show up to champs, and in Winners Round 1, they go up against Arcides. 37-20 with almost 7,000 damage across 4 rounds of control is just insane. But it goes even beyond the series. I got to look at the scoreboards, not only from the Search and Destroy that we didn't get to see, but also from the map number 1. Arcides is on one today, brother.
Again, goes back to that storyline. We talk about Arstes joining challengers in this season. He's been an invaluable addition across the board for Allura Gaming. With the number 2 player in North America in Search and Destroy. And he stepped it up and respawned this weekend as well thus far. Heck of an addition. Makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe Arstes should be back in the league sooner rather than later. But for the moment here, we switch back over towards Houston Spartans and Clutch Rain X-War. Clutch Rain X-War were able to take that map number 1 away from Houston Spartans. Of course, it was a comeback to get it done. But now Houston Spartans here trying to close out the series. But Clutch Rain X-War, can they take their second hard point and set the game fight?
Yeah, they have a very incredible situation for Clutch Rain X-War to even find themselves in this map number 4, given how the previous 2 did go Houston's way. You can see there with the little pop up there, the 250 to 194 scoreline did come through, so I was not proven wrong. SGP at Midnight are currently working on that reverse sweep. They're going to be loading into a Rio Search and Destroy map number 5 here sometime soon, so a very crucial one at that to be able to see what the ice looks like early on a Saturday.
Intriguing, isn't it? We'll see. Whether or not that Man of 5 will go Europe or North America's way. We've got a Europe versus North America matchup in our face right now, though. Bance trying to heat up 3P1. We'll only find a couple of kills before being shut down. Houston Spartans are in dominant control over the bridge side, but Clutch Train X-Warp starting to manipulate the spawns. They've got players approaching from all angles. Harry's going to get shut down by Glowfrosty. Denza activates through the middle of the map here. Glowfrosty has to turn his way, and Denza will find 3. Fire does trade things out, but Denza has done the damage here for Clutch Train X-War. They break through.
Pretty damn good start of this map for Fire, 17-8. You just wish that that was going to be able to be reflected as far as the scoreline is concerned, but his hardpoint, it's not really gone in such a way. It's just the trades and the potential for 2 and sometimes 3 pieces that's coming through from the likes of Denza, Harry, any one of these 4 players for Clutch Train X-War. There's Denza again back in the feed with another multi-kill. Go back towards P1 inside of the restaurant. Houston Spartans have a very slight lead.
It is a slight lead. Hard to dissipate in front of their very eyes, though, as long as Clutch Train X-War do have control over P1. Glowfrosty angling for some information here and from some shots from the outside of P1 from the banister. He's going to get cut down. Fire going to find some value, though. Spark towards the point as well. Wolf pick up 1. Harry's going to trade things out now, looking for the kill on the backly against Fire. Does find it, but Wiz trades things out from the middle of the map. Now Bance towards the kill. Wiz will double up. Houston Spartans, they've broken through. With 30 seconds here on P1, Clutch Train X-War will think about how much they want to put in this one. You can already start to see them angling towards the middle of the map, towards that left side for the rotation.
So much to do here for Fire. Had some assistance from Spart, but Cobra's just going to lay prone and find that kill as Harry finds 2 at the old time. Transition from the bad side of the map looking so good for Clutch Train X-War as they have players already pushed inside of Burger. Got players trying to cut through the middle of the map as well. Still trying to dice over this whole time on P1, and it's causing a lot of distress and a lot of isolated 1v1s, of which Fire is able to find the first and long-range shots on the Bance inside of the restaurant. Help needs to arrive yesterday for Fire.
He's being tagged up by a lot of utility at the moment, but he does have that assistance you were asking for. Spart is right there on the point alongside him, where he was until Cobra was able to remove him from the point. But Train X-War now once again looking to try and break through. Harry's going to take Fire out of the point. Wiz stunned up through the middle of the map here. Clutch Train X-War relying on a potential flanking player coming through from Bance. Bance is really the only one to find any value whatsoever. And a flank only ever really works if you've got more players on the other side finding some kills. But Clutch Train X-War at the very least have flipped those spawns out. Now looking for the scrap time as Bance and Cobra find 3 between them. So that 15 seconds should be theirs. We start to focus on crucial battles for Nu though. And Denza actually lose that initial one against Fire. So Houston Spartans should touch first here.
I mean, Fire's been that route man so far as we've been inside of this Vista map number 4 between these 2 top teams. He's immediately finding value out on the backside of the staircase. I mean, Denza's trying to search for him. He has no idea where he has potentially gone, so he's forced to play his life. His teammates are spawning very far out. The spread across the map has Houston Spartans all isolated individually, but at a moment's notice, they can play for the trades.
Definitely trying to. Denza looking for something through the smoke. He's going to get cut down. Bance the only one to find any value here. A big hard point for the Houston Spartans, not just in considering the context of this kill, 35 seconds left, but also the context of what the rotation towards that inevitable next hard point will look like as well. Houston Spartans, a big moment here in this game. Clutch Train X-War trying to fight this one around the backline. Cobra to find 1. Glowfrosty and Fire combined for 3 though. And now for Bance, who was hitting the old hard point. He has to pick up this time. He's not able to get it done. A disastrous moment here in this game for Clutch Train X-War as they start to spawn out.
I mean, apart from just that 1v1 that was able to happen to take Bance off of the old time, that 2-piece coming through from Glowfrosty was everything up to 20 and 16 now. It influences the rotation over towards P4, where you're looking at it from Clutch Train X-War's situation. They're trying to break through the old time just to be able to work their way over towards P4, but Bance is able to win a crucial 1v1. The bottom side of the mini-map is all possessed by Clutch Train X-War, who need this rotation to be a good one, but they're being dismantled on the transition.
Bance has to go huge, and he does exactly that. Keeps Houston Spartans away for the time for now. You know they're going to be spawning by old. Got to pick up the kills off the back of this. You have to win every single gunfight. Nice Semtex from Wiz. Wiz now going to aggress on towards Denza, who is going to be very weak for the next gunfight. He is going to get overwhelmed. And almost immediately here, Houston Spartans now break in for the back 20. This game is starting to get away from Clutch Train X-War.
No, but they can't win here. So if you're Clutch Train X-War, you're hoping to contest this, maybe walk away with all the scrap time and maybe win gunfights through the middle of the map, and they're able to do everything plus a little bit of extra. Look at the spawns for Houston Spartans. Denza has a lot to do from this balcony position. Drop shot's going to be good for 1. Has some assistance there for Bance as well. You have 2 players that have already slipped the net past the bridge side. Harry's going to try to pick it up from the backside and loses his 1.
Harry trying to play a little sneaky beaver. He's going to get cut short, as is Denza towards the point. And once again, how many times do we need to say it? It's Bance that needs to go huge, and he just can't get it done. Clutch Train X-War shut down on the rotation. Houston Spartans might have to be perfect on this hill, but they can, technically speaking, finish things here. And they're winning all of their 1v1s across the map. Cobra on a route in behind is trying to do some serious damage here. He's found the first kill. Now looking for the second, and Cobra's going to find it. 5 in a row for Cobra. Looking for number 6. Anything that could go his way for the cruise missile, and he will get it. Now more value, perhaps for Cobra, through the middle of the map. The player that should already be in the damn league. Cobra on 7 in a row is keeping mid-map control for Clutch Train X-War.
Put some respect on Cobra's name. This 7th spree is everything, because now you have a cruise missile for this transition, but Houston Spartans are able to break back in. Not enough time to close it out there at the end of this time, but Clutch Train X-War are still picking up these straight gunfights. They're sending Houston Spartans to spawn all the way on the bottom right side of the mini-map, and they are currently looking at top center control for Harry. This transition is everything. Houston Spartans able to work that pinch. They're inside of the time, trying to keep it contested away from Cobra.
Cobra's got so much to do. He's going to get shut down. Now Houston Spartans in for the last 20 seconds of time, trying to shut out Clutch Train X-War and send them to the lower bracket, but a couple of kills do come through from the Europeans. Harry with a team kill. Cobra's going to be forced to bring the cruise missile down, and it doesn't find anything. Denza, the only player close, is going to get shut down. Clutch Train X-War scrambling in this moment to get towards the hard point. Can they touch in time? One last hurrah from the middle of the map. Someone has to get towards the point. Bats that player behind the desk. Now Wiz looking for the double to close things out. Denza will trade it, and Houston Spartans on 249 points. Spar, it might well have just found the final kill. No! Now Cobra finding a couple of kills, keeping this game alive, but finally Cobra gets cut down, and the Europeans get cut down as well. Down to the lower bracket they go, as the Houston Spartans, they take this series.
Yeah, I mean, barring maybe some last-second heroics coming through there for Clutch Train X-War, Cobra had a massive 7 spree, but Fire was through and through just the standout player continuously. It was just a matter of time for somebody to start to pick up a little bit of extra slack to help things out. What Fire was producing across the entirety of that map, and Glowfrosty was able to deliver on that good as well. Almost 5k damage there for Hamza. Fire was, well, living up to his name, was heating things up. So down on the lower bracket, to your point there for Clutch Train X-War, not done with the tournament quite yet. Saturday is going to be an absolute grueler for them.
All right, as you said, tournament live's not over just yet. Game 5 between SGP Midnight and F5 Media Clan, the former of which are trying to pull off a reverse sweep against the latter. It wouldn't be the first insane clutch that SGP Midnight have made this tournament thus far. Eric Boom still alive, by the way. 5 in a row now for them, looking for number 6. Renko will shut that player down, and he just saw Assault. Now a 1 versus 1 against the player that clutched things up in LCQs. Will he clutch up here? No! Renko gonna shut him down. It's a round here as 5 Media Clan are on the board.
Yeah, get themselves on the board. A massive one. Again, SGP Midnight, you can let these boys cook. Momentum very much so could be on their side. Not to mention how Eric Boom started off this map at a 5-0 stat line. Want to talk about a demon that you want to shut down? Yeah, it's definitely going to be Eric Boom. And on a map like Rio Search and Destroy, it'd definitely be a turning point for sure. By Media Clan, give these boys just a few moments to be able to breathe and recollect themselves. They are trying to shut down this reverse sweep that has been coming through in quite an emphatic fashion ever since that high-rise control out of SGP Midnight.
5 Media Clan trying to stop this reverse sweep. They stopped a streak from Eric Boom in that last round. They're not going to stop the Semtex from Capsule over the top for the first blood in this round. 5 Media Clan's response is to try and get this bomb down. It's a hell of a play. SGP Midnight, their response here, try and make this flank happen. 5 Media Clan, though, they seem to have read this one perfectly. Can they find the gunfights, though? Journey runs straight into them. Temp will double up. Super the only one to find any value whatsoever. And now Yakko needs to try and play around the door. He does exactly that, but Temp gets the spin on. Why not put extra bullets in the body when you do that?
I mean, Yakko had such a good look for a 2-piece right there. Just missed about 2 bullets there with a Rival 9 on the transfer over towards Temp, who finds that trade. And as you said, insult to injury. The extra shots there at the end, trying to play a little bit of mind games. Look, I mean, if there's one person that's in this lobby right now that has been there, you know it's Donnie Temp for a multitude of different Call of Duties. I can only imagine the gas that is probably coming through in those comms for these boys.
And that is a hell of a round for SGP Midnight. Got to give 5 Media Clan some credit because they read the play perfectly. They just weren't as ready as they thought they were. Now Temp in 3 in a row. SGP Midnight will slow things up a little bit here. 5 Media Clan We've heard a lot of noise over towards A, and that's the play call for SGP Midnight. Hey, we're going to make a lot of noise over towards A, and then we're going to get the bomb down over towards B. 5 Media Clan have transitioned over, though. They're not going to stop the plant. They need some kind of very quick retake towards his site. Yakko flying out towards the open. Capsule, though, waiting very patiently, and he waits long enough for a two-piece. Somehow plays his life a little bit longer, though. Will finally get shut down by Super. Now we're 2 versus 2.
Oh, the pinch. They're never going to expect Assault to pinch all the way through from Arcade. Super's going to drop down. Has a 1v1 versus Assault. Narrowly wins it. But Eric Boom chasing for the challenge. Gets caught with the tax sprint. 18 seconds, enough time to be able to work your way back over towards the bomb site. And a crucial clutch coming through there from Super after Capsidal brought things back to about an even standing ground. And I love that decisive call coming through from SGP Midnight. You didn't see anything chow through U-Haul, so just get over towards B off of the stun that you connected over towards boxes. You knew that they had to set up over towards A, but the post plant gets absolutely dismantled. They take down Temp from working up towards a streak. And then Eric Boom getting a little bit too feisty trying to push for that trade. Gets gunned, and Super gets a very free defuse. So 4 spree now for Super. Just trailing by 1 now, or 5 MC.
I think he was relying on the fact that Super was weak in the fight, that he should be able to take it relatively easily. Wasn't quite anticipating well. Super living up to his name. 5 Media Clan, that is a integral round here. Look on the defense here for SGP Midnight. An effort to stop 5 Media Clan getting control over by B. FMC going to drop the bomb here. The idea being that Yakko going to try be the entry sub in this situation alongside Journey. Eric Boom pushed up towards vending. It's an issue. Yakko now has the bomb in hand. Do they spot out Eric Boom here? Eric doesn't finish his food, though, for the first gunfight. Journey's able to trade off out. Now Temp through the middle of the map. Can he find that kill and get away? There's number 1. There's number 2 of that 2-step process. Now Super needs to try and get something on the flank. Assault's going to catch him off guard here very quickly. Renkor's left alive in a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, good luck, have fun here for Rancor. He has the information on Assault, who just goes for the challenge. Why the hell not? It's a good pickup there from Assault again, who was in that initial 1v1 versus Super all the way across the bridge side of the map, right? But then just goes all the way back off of the 2 kills that were found through the top center to make sure that the flank didn't come through, and caught really good timing on the Super that was working that flank through the back P3 side. So able to shut things down. Never want to give these players any moment to clutch, especially when it's Rancor and Super as the last 2 alive. These boys definitely got the gunny. But SGP Midnight, 4 rounds to the good on this reverse sweep, just 2 more rounds away.
SGP Midnight have just been so good at adapting to what 5 Media Clan have thrown their way. How about this for SGP Midnight on this offensive effort? 4 hits straight towards A. It's a free bomb site for them. 5 Media Clan here. They're going to go for a 4-man flank in behind enemy lines. Do Midnight read this?
I mean, Assault's ready for it. He's already watching the entirety of the flank. You got a high-low being played over by the forklift for the pinch that's going to come through from Journey.
5 have to time this correctly. So it's going to be sent away by way of that Semtex. Now we need to see Journey pop off and actually pick up some kind of value on the other side. He will find one. Also looking for the second fight against Capsule as well. Temp is going to trade that one out. Renkor, though, going to find one. There's Yakko for Assault, and now all you have left is Temp, who will find one. Was looking for the shots against the foot on the diffuser. That's not going to happen. 5 Media Clan, it is a successful kit, timed well between the 2 players.
Yeah, bomb planted for Garage there. And again, for the post plant was immediately set up. You had the high-low over by the forklift side. You had Temp that was pushed inside of boxes, and Assault, well, he was all the way watching for the flank. So, all right. Well, hey, I wanted to see the conclusion, and only you inside the venue. You get to go watch the conclusion of that one. So, that sucks. I wanted to watch that one.
That's unfortunate.
All
that
right.
is very unfortunate. All right, well, let's look at what's happened so far then, because I don't know if we've got any games actually going on right now. I think the only other one would be FaZe Clan Black and Omit EU, which I don't know where they're at right now. Regardless, we can talk about the matches we have seen so far. Right now, Houston Spartans and Lore Gaming both defeating the teams they had to face in the first round of play to get through to top 6 guaranteed and winners round 2. Andy, I think I'm particularly stunned by Lore 3-0ing Omit Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, it really just goes to show here for Call of Duty as a day-to-day esport as it is, you got to show up prepared as best as you possibly can, because this winner's round 1 matchup, you knew it was going to be an absolute tester. Again, Omit Brooklyn and Lore Gaming, you're talking about all 8 players were in the CDL at one point or another trying to prove that they can be back in that form. And there's nobody that made a further argument than Arcides. I mean, talk about a massive performance back against the wall entirely, knowing that he had to have a massive performance here versus Omit Brooklyn. Again, a team that did win Elite Season 3 for North America. And what a massive way to do it. Again, it was an upset as far as that 1 point difference as far as map 1 is concerned. Search and Destroy was a little bit cleaner, but that control was just about everything. Arcides was everywhere.
Yeah, Lore Gaming just looks so good. Again, they finished that one in the end. They're able to 3-0 over Omit Brooklyn. It should be said, I was a little bit concerned yesterday when they got reverse swept against the Houston Spartans as to where they would actually be coming into today. Would they kind of fix those mistakes, not let that happen again? And I was concerned, even as they go 2-0 up against Omit Brooklyn, that might be the case. But no, Lore Gaming do go through. It's a roster that people should stop underestimating as they go through to the upper bracket semi-final against, we don't know who yet. It'll either be 5 Media Clan or SGB Midnight. We're currently awaiting the result of a potential reverse sweep in that scenario. Of course, they'll face the winner of that matchup. On the other side, though, Houston Spartans, they beat out Clutch Rain X War in a 3-1 fashion. Clutch Rain X War, try as they might, could not stave off Houston Spartans on that final hardpoint.
Again, the winner of the one match that we still have going on that at least we can get some eyes on would be going up against, I believe, the Houston Spartans between FaZe Clan Black and Omid EU. And, well, I'll be candid with you. Omid EU definitely have some explaining to do. That hard point was very close on Rio, as all have been so far in this winners round 1. Just not enough to be able to get over FaZe Black and what they were able to produce there at the very end, the transition over towards P1. The Karachi Search and Destroy went round 11 as well, and you really do feel like for Omit EU, you and I talked about this before we actually went live with the broadcast, is that the back 3 maps are actually very good for Omit EU. You just hope that whatever that they have for mental sake, going up against global #1 of FaZe Black, Toronto Challengers Open champions, that they are at least able to keep a level head and maybe try to work a reverse sweep.
Yeah, I'm very content with the veto process. It's something we've actually not really got a chance to talk much about across any series really this weekend. I'm very happy with the vetoes if I'm Omit EU there, because you walk away with your 2 best Search and Destroy mats in that best of 5. You've got Karachi Search and Destroy, and you've got a 6-star Search and Destroy, albeit they actually lost the 6-star Search and Destroy yesterday. But still, I'm happy with it. You've already lost the Karachi. Now you have to win that back 3 maps and try and reverse sweep one of the most consistent teams. Probably actually, I'll say it definitively, the most consistent team on LAN this entire year in FaZe Black, who have not failed to reach a final this entire year. It's going to be a big ask, I think, for Omit EU. I'm a little bit sad, mate, honestly. You know, biased caster and all, I don't really care. The European teams aren't able to get past the North Americans at the moment.
No, I mean, it's been a continuation. You and I talked about it when Boston concluded quite some time ago, even as far as what went down in the House of Blues. What was it, 5 Media Clan were the highest placing European team, and that was only top 6. And it didn't get continuously better until, what, realistically, maybe Miami and even Toronto as well. There was just a lack of European showcasing. Omit EU has shown brilliance, dominance even, through a lot of different online stages. Elite Season 1 and Season 2, lost Elite Season 3 to Team Falcons, whatever may have you there. But I mean, it's almost a fall for grace for Omit EU. Again, these 4 players, we do kind of hold them on a very high pedestal because we do gas them up continuously. I mean, whether we're talking about Steve Vortex, whether we're talking about how Wee Man never got any offers as well, Hixie deserves another shot as well. I mean, the guy literally this time last year was playing for Toronto Ultra and he got top 2 at champs, didn't have a CDL spot, and I think that Ben Mythix deserves a very fair argument as well. That guy's a very straight shooter, but it's a tough shake, man, because again, you are going up against global #1 FaZe Clan Black. Any map mode combination you feel like is going to be a good one. If there's one thing that they do represent, at least for a namesake, of having that FaZe monicum to their name alone, is that there really does feel like that there is not many map mode combinations that they do not enjoy to play, besides Vista Hardpoint.
Yeah.
I talked to Mayhem very directly when we got to see him at Toronto, and I was like, so hard veto Vista Hardpoint? He's like, yeah, every time. They don't like that map. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny, right? It's one of those conversation points you always have, right, with these top teams. It's just like their map pool is so varied. They're so good at pretty much everything that it's almost impossible to successfully veto against them, right? I think it was Clutch Rain X War that felt that yesterday when they lost the veto process. It felt like against Omit Brooklyn. Of course, Omit Brooklyn now in the lower bracket, but still, that was the problem for them in that best of 5. And I think that's really the issue for Omit EU here in this best of 5. Again, though, it should be said, they did look like the Search and Destroy should have been theirs, and they had to go all the way to like round 11 on a Karachi Search and Destroy against FaZe Clan Black, and they still couldn't get it done. Now they're reliant on a back 3 maps where really, at least in my mind, only 2 of them actually do feel favorable to Omit EU. I'm looking at that high-rise control where they've looked pretty good back in Season 3, and of course, the 6-star Search and Destroy. They've got to steal away that map number 4 though, and they've got to start the reverse sweep here against FaZe Black on a high-rise control. It is a huge ask, but if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Omit EU.
And I'm with you guys. We just saw the quad buy. I just want to know the conclusion of what happened with SGP Midnight and 5 Media Clan. Because, I mean, like, that reverse sweep would be massive. And even more of a conversation as well that we didn't talk about. I mean, we'll talk about just a little pep in your small step for Eric Boom if he's able to take down his Spaniard compadres there on the opposite side. But regardless, into this map number 3 we go for Omid EU. A must-win for them to stay alive here in the winner's bracket.
Have to have it. If you're Omit EU, you have to have a good start to this control. So far, so good. They might well be down in lives at this point in time, but they have actually got some kind of map control here. Mythics will fall to Exceed. Now just looking to try and put a stop to FaZe Black. And I love the reaction from FaZe Black here. They're thinking about very deep into the future. Look at the very long flank coming through from Exceed. It's definitely going to catch Mythics off guard. He should be able to get this one gunfight. Only one tick through for the moment, but very quickly is Omit able to turn around and picking up that gunfight. Hixie trading out, and now we're going to see Vortex. I think this is Vortex at the very least. Yeah. Get into some of these power positions. Vortex actually going to find a second kill as well. The third AR, it would seem, here for Omit EU. Now is doing a really good job at spawn trapping FaZe Black. Yep, combined 7 spree now in between Hixie, Weeman, and Steve. Really looking for a little bit more inside of the spawn. He sees the seam just barely poking over towards the half of the block, but Hixie unable to be able to find the trade. How much more value can Charlie find on this side of the map? Well, it sets up Mythics for an easy trade, but trade started to come through. FaZe Black able to finally get out of their spawn, but not before Omid EU at 60 seconds out on towards support. Big stop for Omid EU there to get the extra 60 seconds now. They've got time. They've got some map control as well. FaZe Black going to try and eliminate Omid EU before they can cause any problems. Now there's some kills though. Kills though will coming through across the board here for Omid EU. Now they're going to hop on A. A-Sim's the closest player pushed up for FaZe Black to do anything about this one. He's just prancing and dancing around, distracting all of these players while Brack, Rex, and Exceed bring the point home. They stop Omid EU from getting anything whatsoever. And now it is Omid EU down to their final player in Mythics. There goes Weeman off the spawn as well. Omid EU are falling apart.
Look at Brack. I think he's a main AR. Well, he can still get aggressive with some of the best. Xy's just waiting for some sort of green light to potentially try to push over towards the B Street. And yeah, Xy's not going to be aware of this at all. So that's going to cause a certain amount of respect to come through for FaZe Black. You cannot allow Hixie to find more value on this flank. Rex aware of it, turns it down. 4v6. No more respawns for Omit.
It's not the end of the world if you do lose this round if you're Omit, but still, you felt like you had a good shake at it with that capture over on B. Vortex now down for the round. There goes Mythics as well. Big 1v1 towards blue for Hixie. Time not really on his side, though. He's going to have to try and hit the regen hit before he goes towards the point. Again, that's shaving time off the clock, and as Hixie goes down, I don't really know if Weeman was going to be able to help him out in any situation there regardless, but at the very least, Weeman will not feed that final gunfight to FaZe Black. You do start this control strong.
Yep. And being able to break out of their spawn was just so massive. I mean, that initial push for the opening salvo out of Omit EU on their offense was just so staggering. The way that you were able to get Vortex into the spawn immediately, had some good assistance in the Overwatch coming through from Mythics, as well as Weeman. Set themselves up wonderfully, at least for the B zone in the control. But we always talk about the transition on high rise. Very, very difficult to be able to maintain that forward positioning for an offensive team to be able to convert, especially when it is FaZe Black on the opposite side of the lobby. Rex, by the way, ended on a 6 spree, so has a cruise missile going into this round, and FaZe Black, with such a resource advantage and the first blood from Asim, are trying to get on to A.
Yeah, if you can get this one done fast, it's very damaging to Omit EU, isn't it? Rex now trying to provide some kills over the top. Rex will double up. Rex for 3. Now looking for number 4. Just one more player left in front of him. Unfortunately, could not locate Hixie for the frag. But Asim will be able to close that kill out. And now you've got players in all these power positions. Asim is lining them up, as is Bragg. The team shots so good from FaZe Black. The ARs now starting to get in the positions for the spawn trap. FaZe Black have turned the aggression up to 11 for this round. The kill advantage is good. The one tick over by A is good. And in the long run, even if you don't win this round out, that can be everything everything for a potential defense round 5.
I mean, such a massive opening engagement coming through for FaZe Black, but they only have the one segment on A to show for it, albeit with a 4-life lead over Omid EU, who have to be very meticulous on how they try to re-enter themselves in towards this B control zone, because you got players pushed up every single way of this side of the map. You got Brack soaking up the zone. You got Dylan Rex down low. Exceed is also here with his longtime duo to soak up this zone control. Second segment's going to be good, and the other two players for FaZe Black, well, they're still assaulting over by A. So you think 60 seconds are going to come towards the board, and that is absolutely the case, with the transition looking good as well.
FaZe Black in a really powerful position here. They've got an 8-life advantage that's so domineering over Omid EU, who have just been spinning their wheel here in this game. We're looking over towards the 4 box right now, so we can keep an eye on what's going on with Omid EU and FaZe Black and 5 Media Clan and SGB Midnight simultaneously. It's worth saying that we did see a little bit of a reset there, but as we knew it, it was SGB Midnight that was 4-3 up in that search and destroy over 5 Media Clan. We see I think it's a pink in the kill feed there. 5 Media Clan getting the kills to ensure that they do win the round against SGP Midnight. But back towards this Omid EU and FaZe Black game. It's a 6v15 for Omid EU. This is problematic.
SGP Midnight as well. You can see there in the top right, they're going to be able to get that diffuser. They're going to put themselves up on series point for the reverse sweep. But here, the last segment, looking pretty damn good for it. It's a 2v13 and FaZe Black, wouldn't you know it, able to convert an offensive round. They take a 2-0 lead, not only in the series, but also in the control. Looking quite dominant here on High Rise. And it's really just the opening breakoff, right? I mean, Asim finds that first blood, and I was starting to get worried. I was like, well, you guys only found one segment over at A, but all of it, Omid EU, just already down to 19 lives, could barely even get out from their spawn as the zone control over towards B was slowly being captured by FaZe Black, and the lives quickly being depleted for Omid EU. The transition was a good one. 14-9 for Brack. 18-11 out of Dylan Rex. You think these ARs love to play on land?
Yeah, I think they're all right, mate, at the moment. I think they're feeling pretty good about themselves. High Rise is their home at the moment, and for Omid EU on the other side, the players you normally expect to turn up, they are just not here. We're not seeing those monumental numbers from the likes of Weeman and Mythix. Mythix especially at 9 and 18. This is a player who've hyped up quite a bit, and things are going all right here for Omid EU, aren't they? Not a single kill. Finally, Weeman's finds some kind of value, but is it too little too late? They're already 6 lives down, and it's getting worse.
You still have a cruise missile for Dylan Rex, by the way, just casually holding on to that ace up his sleeve, but depending on how this returning gunfights start to work their way for Omid EU, you might see that resource just come down from the heavens. Xy's going to be able to get past blue control. Unbeknownst to him, Brack actually drops down from top helicopter and takes down Weeman along the way, and now is trying to flip the map as well. Gets a good angle. Now looking for a couple of spawn kills is Brack. Gets traded, but you still have Mythix pushed up on the map. Needs to find value here.
Omid EU trying to fight Brack here. It will slow down somewhat. Flanking player is going to be Exceed on towards the point. Now looking to deplete it down to 0% progression. Asim finding the gunfights there as Exceed 4-1. Vortex and Hixie do fire back. Asim back on towards the point though will take Vortex down. There goes Hixie as well. 15 seconds now. Omid EU starting a flag here in this game. Brack gonna take Weeman down. No choice for Mythix to go back to take this kill. And already here the kill's starting to come through for Omid EU, but with 7 seconds left here, you have to single-handedly get yourselves on towards point. It has to be a single-minded hit here for Omid EU, and you don't really have the kills to make this happen. 3.9 seconds. The clock will stop.
You have to make this push worth it. Mythix is just holding his irons there on the ladder. Asim is trying to flip down towards the bottom side of Underground. FaZe Black are being quite cautious on how they want to try to retake this. The cruise missile comes in, but Mythix is still alive.
Doesn't really do all that much here. Exceed also going to get Semtexed up. That second hit's going to be through here for Omid EU. Exceed is looking for any kind of help here from his teammates. He's not going to get it in time. Point B will go the way of Omid EU. Asim and Rex will get some exit frags. It's not a full clearance, though, of the point. Vortex has escaped, but Rex is just spotting him out as well, and Rex will pick up that gunfight over by the heli. Asim also going to find Hixie, so FaZe Black here still a domineering life advantage.
Oh, Exceed's going to be kicking himself. Mythix is playing a tight corner outside of blue, but Brack's there to pick up the push there on the helicopter stairs. Needs to go massive in this moment. It's to confirm that somebody's stepping on the A zone, but it's actually C that's able to pick up through the hop up over by helicopter. The stack is in. Over towards the A control zone. First segment looking good to get locked. 9v5.
Gotta be perfect if you're Omid EU. Have to be perfect and from behind enemy lines. Oh, it would have been nice if you could trade that one out with your Weeman, but no. Exceed will now ruin the hopes and dreams of Omid EU. And now all of it rests on Hixie. Ex-CDL runner-up from last season. He's not going to be able to get anything done, and you know for a fact that FaZe Black will be getting loud as Omit EU are sent down to the lower bracket in 3-0 fashion. FaZe Black continue their dominance on land.
Yeah, they sure do. Taking down Europe's finest along the way for Omid EU. Again, all of the dominance just to make it to this point in time to get 0-3'd by FaZe Black. A little bit of a wake-up call, to say the least, as we shift our focus back over towards the last series here in our opening block. Again, it was a 4-3 stat line, so currently sitting up on map point are SGP Midnight. But at a moment's notice, this could flip for 5 Media.
5 Media looking to get it done. Journey and Yako for a couple of kills here. This is round 11 between these two teams. Opening salvo is good. Temp and Assault left alive here in this situation, and 5 Media Clan are encroaching from all sides. Assault now, the last one left alive here. What can he do in this situation? Looking for something. Yako's going to shut him down. Reverse sweep denied. And it seems there is a little bit of light in this situation, as I believe that was 3 rounds on the bounce for 5 Media Clan. There's still some kind of hope for Europe here in the upper bracket.
I mean, it's some marginal hope, I will say that much. But 5 Media just barely hanging on versus SGP Midnight, who we're looking very good for that reverse sweep. Again, the 3-1 on the control was a massive step in the right direction, and the way that they were able to win the Rio Hardpoint, 250 to 191, or 194, excuse me, we didn't get to see anything from that map, but it's still a very massive scoreline to have for yourself versus this 5 Media Clan roster who has been firing off on all cylinders through the group play yesterday, and even through the opening first 2 maps here versus SGP Midnight. You almost felt like it was going to be another 3-0 for them, but it's not going to be the case at all. SGP Midnight, though, knocked down the lower bracket. Got to be feeling a little bit unfortunate feelings for them, as they could not complete that reverse sweep. Even into the reset, they win the opening round. They put themselves up on map point. And then, as you pointed out, there are 3 rounds on the bounce coming through for 5 Media Clan to deny the reverse sweep. It'll be a momentum shift in 5 Media Clan. We know they love a good momentum shift in their favor. Might need it going in towards their next matchup, considering it's against Lore.
Yeah, that's going to be tough because Lore look like they're on form right now. They just took down Omit Brooklyn 3-0, a team that, by the way, basically swept everybody back in Season 3 of Challengers Elite. So Lore look like they're on final form at the moment. For 5 Media Clan, they've got Europe on their back. So that's worth saying, of course, we do have a lower bracket here in the championship bracket. So while a lot of the European teams might have lost, I say a lot, 2/3 of the FaZe Black will take on the Houston Spartans for a spot in the winners finals. And also we do have that Lore Gaming versus 5 Media Clan matchup, epic matchup still to come. And of course, in lower round 1, now fighting for survival, we're gonna see the European face-off Omit EU versus Clutch Rain X War, a rematch of the lower bracket finals from Challengers Elite Season 3. And then of course, to round out the competition, Omit Brooklyn versus SGP Midnight. Might seem like a bit of a mismatch at first, but that SGP Midnight roster has been nothing if not tenacious this entire tournament thus far.
And Omit Brooklyn are battered, they're bruised. They just got 0-3'd by Lore Gaming. So, I mean, Coach Mystic, look, Charles, buddy, you got a lot to do to get those boys prepared, because SGP Midnight are going to come out firing off on all cylinders. It is going to be a barn burner of a lower round 1 matchup. Lose and you are done. No EWC, no bigger prize pool whatsoever in the rematch between the 2 European juggernauts of Clutch Rain X War and Omit of what we saw yesterday. Went to map 5. Surely we're probably going to get the same outcome here.
And you know what, actually, a little bit of news. You know, I'm just going to break this on the air right now because I've just seen it on the timeline. I know I shouldn't be looking at Twitter when we're working, but I literally just saw the tweet. Xnid has just tweeted it out. Apparently, Team Falcons have won the MENA qualifier for EWC. So they will be one of the challengers teams at that event. We're all not surprised, really. But they will be there. Who's going to join them, man? It's something that we have to think about as we go further and further in this tournament. These teams in the lower bracket, they are going to be fighting for those spots.
Yeah, they sure are. And again, it kind of puts a lot more pressure on those winner semifinal matches, don't it? Because, I mean, if you win that, you're guaranteed to be seeing yourself there at the end of the road towards the end of summer. So a lot of pressure on the line. But again, you have championship caliber players representing on these teams. Are ready to get the job done. It's just about resetting the mental and making sure that you get the best veto process possible to reach top 4, not to mention get yourself closer towards top 2 to play on that stage that I've been seeing for CDL at Champs. I would love just that experience alone.
Yeah, it's absolutely cool. There is a lot online. EWC main stage for teams here in the upper bracket as well. It's still all to play for as we are well on the way of the journey now to getting down to our final 2 teams here at the 2024 Challengers Finals. We've got a break though coming up on the other side. We have those winners bracket matches and of course the lower bracket matches all going on at once. It's still going on here at Texas for Challengers Champs.
and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to CDL Challengers Champs. We are moving through our playoff bracket now, and we have some winners semi-final games that will send teams to qualify for EWC, and of course move them through the bracket as well as our lower round going on, Visions.
Yeah, man, the action has been fantastic today to kick it off, hasn't it? We've had some crazy comebacks. We've had almost reverse sweeps coming through, round 11s, you name it. So everything's been very tight. And like you said, it's bracket play, so everything's a little bit more enhanced coming in towards day 2. So I'm pretty amped to see who's going to qualify very early here for EWC.
Yeah, me too, and we've had some pretty good games just in the last round, a lot of them going to map number 5 and going down to the wire. Tells you just how much quality in competition we do have. You're gonna have to find out though just exactly who goes a little bit further in R1 as the games start to get underway and our players file in. But certainly been an exciting Challengers Champ so far.
It's been fantastic. And like I said, everything's been really close, and I think we're getting into the nitty-gritty for as far as today. EU's been kind of dropping off a tad bit outside of what we've seen out of 5 Media Clan. But the teams that we have here, FaZe Black, Houston Spartans, both have played absolutely incredible today. We saw FaZe Black pretty much swiftly take their first 1-3-0. Houston Spartans showed a couple of woes in hardpoint. We'll see if they can fix that here on Subbase.
This is a game we have seen a few times before. These teams know each other very, very well. Normally, I feel like FaZe Black have, at least in my mind, a little bit of an advantage in this one, but anything goes come champs time. And you can see right now, Houston Spartans get that first little flurry of time onto P1. And as we roll around to P2, Spartans are trying to get in position for it.
Back to the back here. He knows he's already under threat of some early gunfights. And all that P1 time basically going to be won by the clock. Not a lot of it going to be secured by either one of these squads. It's all about the rotation, and well, Wizwin's a big one there in the back onto Brack. Will be swiftly traded out from Rex as he now tries to fight through the back as well.
By just holding, making sure nobody can push. An easy push for him, and a little bit of a split spawn. You can see now they do have the back spawn here, FaZe Black, and looking to try to capitalize it. We're trying to find something in the middle, but doesn't. And it's just chaos all over the map here. As you can see, no real battle lines. Everybody's just fighting from all corners.
Yeah, 50-50 battles in the hard point now. Again, not a lot of time going over. It's just 17 playing up against 30 here for the points on the board. But lots of time to soak up. You got to get through Rex and his teammate up top here. The ARs are certainly in position, but that's what you want to see for the Houston Spartans. They open up a bit of space. They're going to find 3 down. And maybe now there's a chance to soak back that 20 seconds.
They're certainly going to be able to hold on to it. C might chow this just to get off the scrap time. You can see him already moving forward, but be very slow, just looking for kills on this rotation. Really finds nothing. This does mean as we go all the way around, FaZe Black, they'll just be sitting now trying to split the map and make sure nobody gets through to challenge this next one. Unfortunately, they've already missed Go Frosty.
Rex is in an interesting spot because he might also lose track of another player. He's playing for the exit here, and he does eventually get it. Warehouse control is good. You got some high ground and top snow here. As you can see, Exceed ready to bounce and pounce if he needs to, but players in the back now going to get that close spawn here for the Houston Spartans. Have to clean it up if you're Exceed. He's here for 1, needs to now find a second, but it's Rex that brings it home, and that was a chance to really lock in some time for FaZe Black.
Fire just wants to try and take this a bit. You see both teams on the other side of the map. They're really through the rotations very early for it as well. Fire will take that away. That's nothing to be sniffed at. The only issue is going to be these spawns. You see already Houston Spartans spawning quite a way out. Glowfrosty's coming under a lot of pressure. He's not going to be there for very long. So a little bit of scrap time for the rotation. I think FaZe Black might take that.
We'll be happy with it as long as they can actually secure maybe 40 seconds plus. And you would expect to on this P4 hill. Asim up top snow, going to be able to delay that rotation a tad bit. At the very least, you're going to get some pretty valuable information on where this push is going to be coming from. And Exceed is there to find a couple of kills. He dies in that 3 spree, but you slow things down just enough. And you still got Brack up top looking for some more, but it's Spart that's able to find 1. And an unfortunate team nade will slow this push down now on the break.
Big stack here from Houston Spartans. Looking to try and take them down until and Rex just staying alive, defeating this push completely. Well, Spart will find 1. He's too weak to do any more with 30 seconds left on the clock. The Houston Spartans, they might take one more stab at this as they fight for map control.
Fire won that last battle, 1v1 on the hill. Let's see if he can try to make something happen again. Exceed says no, denies him the opportunity. Almost gets a good look there at Wiz, but the shots will not connect. And well, we said they have an opportunity to bring home a lot of points here. They're able to do it. Just about a good 45 seconds off of this P4 hill. But everyone now turning their eyes to P5, and you can see the setup is here for the Houston Spartans. It's all about trying to hold and lock down the map.
Gotta be careful. This game is very, very tight between the two teams, and now with Spartans looking to try and take back the lead, but already buckling a little bit under the pressure. Lost their player into the hill. Reinforcements are slowly but surely getting here, but not in the position they want to be. It will be FaZe Black in the better position. Asim holding that cut as well, and only Glowfrosty really in any position to chow here, but Super Weekend has to regain. The rest of Houston Spartans, this is a choke point, but Glowfrosty don't care.
Able to fly out of the double window, snaps on Asim as well up top, so you got some space to work with. You got Wiz who's going to take his position, and you got some great overwatch here just over the entire map, really. You're going to have some tough gunfights if you're FaZe Black, trying to fight for the scrap time, but it might just be secured for the Houston Spartans as everyone also starts to look towards P1 here. That's going to pop soon.
We knew this game was going to be a close one. It was written every single step of the way. And as we go into our next set of rotations, 10 points is nothing in the grand scheme of things. This game could flip either way, but Houston Spartans at the moment, they will have it. They have a slightly worse position here on the map at the moment, though. They're already trying to rotate around. They don't want to hit this choke point too much. But they might be able to get out towards P2. You can see Fire is making that route as it will be FaZe Black all over it, but losing a couple of the important trades.
You got to find Brack up top now. He's able to find two, and well, he does lose the high ground for a moment, but look where everyone's spawning here for the Spartans. It almost forces them to rotate a little bit early here to P2, which is going to potentially give up maybe a good chunk of time for FaZe Black. They're still soaking up P1. Still have a chance to try to extend this lead. Let's go. Frosty has something to say about it, but Fire's also able to get involved, able to contest just a bit of that, and they also got members already set up here at P2.
This is where the teams want to start making a difference. P1 is not a money hill most of the time, but P2 very much can be. Houston Spartans cleaning the lines. Only Brack left alive. He's on a 4, will fall, and that means it's back to square one for FaZe Black. They will have to fight their way across this map to try and contest. Benefit being already, FaZe Black have a seam deep, trying to make sure that the reinforcements don't get there as quick, but Glowfrosty gets found.
That's big. That was your front window watcher, so Exceed's now able to get up here freely, but needs to piece together some kills. Snaps on one down low. It really is just Exceed versus the world in the back, and he will be taken down. Exceed the next one up, looking for a little double up, and how about that finesse? Goes to the SMG, pulls out 2, and almost gets the 3rd, and he does. How about it? Fake kills coming through. Glowfrosty gets the nade to slow things down, but it's still a 50-50 battle for scrap time.
This is the benefit actually here for FaZe Black. They can hold this for as long as possible. Do what they did last time. Get that rotation locked in. That's what they're trying to do here. Exceed is eventually going to fall. You can see the Houston Spartans. They're just trying to smash through this. It's not actually working for them. They want that scrap time as they know they don't have the rotation. A lot of time burnt there. FaZe Black have done an incredible job. And while they are currently behind with another 10-point differential, it should flip back.
Yeah, flip-flopping back and forth here through this match. And a big problem last time is Houston Spartans didn't really have too much of a way through the warehouse. They had to come all the way around the back, and Asim has already positioned himself for any kind of a push through the backside, but everyone's gearing up. Top Snow. So Brack has a lot to do from this position. He's going to get some good info. Finds the first one. Looks for the second. The snap is good, and he's doing a good job of maintaining control.
Now going to reinforce. He knows he's off the spawn. Jumps straight to the point. Unfortunately, there's too many bodies around him. 25 seconds of scrap time. The Spartans will take it. But the same old story. Or they will get this. They will not have the rotation again. FaZe Black have opportunity to put at least one more push in. Maybe just get a contest. Maybe just keep them staggered off spawn. Zasim finds 2 on a 5 streak. Not really going to play for the Cruise by the look of it. He's quite wide open and gets taken down.
It almost feels like right now FaZe Black are really good at just getting right in your face as soon as you come off spawn. They're not giving you a whole lot of room to work with, but as you do take a look across the map, Brack is really going to be the only one on the hill. Everyone's just responsible for watching crosses right now, so they are very much playing off information. We'll see if they can try to hold it from the front. Brack needs to find some big kills, and he's got some assistance. That's huge for the first 20 seconds here on the point.
Now, we talked about there not being a lot of difference between these two teams. 10 points to the halfway mark isn't a lot. 10 points now is massive, and you can see they are just bleeding this FaZe Black. 30 seconds to go onto this hard point. It will push them over 200 and into lethal range. What was a close game is no longer. Houston Spartans will have to rally and rally fast.
Yeah, you see a couple of the players from the Spartans slowing down a tad bit. It was a decent start there for some of the ARs, but now everyone just about negative. Not what you want to see. Have to turn this one around. Have to turn it around now. Exceed on the rotation. Just needs to slow down a tad bit. Try to work for some kills, and you can see he's wisely playing his life, trying to work from the back angle, but Wiz will have none of it. Able to shut him down, and this is where you're really required to bring home some big points here if you're the Spartans.
Trying to hold Brack first in, though. Just destroys the player on the hill. Just not enough cover. Houston Spartans do not have the guns where they need him. Asim takes down another one. They smell a little bit of blood. Glowfrosty stopping the bleeding with 3. Wow. Make sure that it does not end the game here at all. And the Houston Spartans, there is just a glimmer of hope for them with that.
Oh, Frosty's keeping it going. 4 in a row. Maybe even a chance to work for a cruise missile, which I'm sure you'd love to have for some late game insurance. But 30-point differential. The Houston Spartans are bringing it back. This has been their hill the entire way through. Fire, though, feeling the pressure. He knows that they're swarming around, and he will finally be overwhelmed for some of the scrap time.
Seems going to get stunned. Not going to win that kill either. 11 seconds back on the point. We are going back to P1 and maybe even P2, depending on how it flies. You can already see the Spartans setting up on that side of the map, trying to get these cuts, locking it down completely. And nobody on it yet. This is all going to be about positioning. Everybody wants to make sure they have the slaying advantage before they jump in.
There it is. 3 players going to go down. 4 again. Great help from Rex, and the difference really is some of the high ground that you're seeing out of, Rex right now, out of Brack, who's been able to bring himself back after starting 5 and 10. That's the difference maker, and now they're maybe even looking to close it out on P1. 15 seconds for the dub.
Just a bit of contest coming in. Houston Spartans got to keep throwing themselves at this hill. There's no real need to do anything else. You've just got to go and make sure they can't sit on it. They can't even really overcommit towards this either. Dylan Rex is on a 5 spree. In just a few seconds, the Spartans will have to leave this and go for next. They've done exactly that. It can no longer be 1 on P1. The Spartans are ready for this, but still spread across the map.
How about the spawns? All 3 players here from the Spartans are actually going to spawn up, and they're able to contest some of that P1 time, so it is not over just yet. But Rex looking for the broke, just snaps on one. Puts himself up to 6 in a row. There is now a cruise missile to work with, but isn't even needed. You can still win this purely through gunfights, and there are still lots of members from FaZe Black looking for a way in.
And they've got this. All they've got to do is bleed it away, and that 2 kills. The Spartans would have to be heroes right now to just fight everybody down. They've got to go through the choke points. They've got to take the gunfights, and Asim puts that one to bed. FaZe Black, they took the lead and never let it go in the dying few rotations of that game, and that locks them in.
It sure does. Always got to credit FaZe Black. Whenever you see them play these sub-bases, it feels like they're really good at controlling that tempo, that rotation that's needed after you lock down P3, you gain the first 30 seconds. That's when you want to flip out the spawns and try to guarantee the flip to the other side of the map. And they did that perfectly both times around through the sets. That's what really kind of built up their lead and allowed them to run away with it just a tad bit. But definitely a solid chance there for the Houston Spartans, just not enough in the tank in the final moments. We take a look at this one, and, well, this is both EU squads right now in the lower bracket elimination matchup, and this one's also just about 20-point differential.
Some of the biggest squads from Europe throwing down once again, over and over again. We have seen this season, and now it's for the big one, elimination. Not just from champs, but also technically from EWC. It means one of these teams will not be going, regardless of what happens.
Pressure certainly on, and we take a look at P2. Weeman does not throw the best of Semtex there, and you're going to have to win some pretty big gunfights. It's a tight setup that you can see right now inside the restaurant, and Vortex does a good job of actually working through one, finds Harry. Now you have to try to find another opening through the back. You got Cobra, who's going to snap on yet another. Then he plays his life up to 31 and 18, reads the push, but it's not good enough, and that might be enough for a break. 1v1 on the hill. Hixie looking for the line of sight, can't find it. Bance with a huge 1v1.
And they're just fighting each other all over this P2 at the moment, making sure nobody can get in, but Weeman has broken through with 4 health, doesn't even care. Cobra will take him down because he is just that weak, and will get the second.
Wow.
And they're still deep into this one, and more challenges coming through. Hixie, next member of this team, technically, back when it was just the war roster. They are fighting everywhere. It will be Harry to get that kill. There's still going to be more contests coming through. Advantage here to Omen EU. They will have the rotation even though they are behind. But Den's just made a huge kill to make this a little bit convoluted.
Denza!
Oh no! Hixie, that kill should not have gone against him. And this might all be a crumbling. Oh my god, Clutch Rain have broken through when they should not have done.
I mean, how big has Denza been in some of these key moments where you get to the end of a hard point, the end of a search and destroy? He comes up big again, 3 in a row after starting off extremely slow. Hixie needs to find a way in, wants to find redemption, but the team shots are too good. Clutch Rain, they could very much win it on this point.
I don't think they can get close, really. Banzy's going to just be playing his life. There is one big hit coming in from Omen EU. They have to throw everybody into the mixer, but Cobra has already found 2. Mythics has to go through the front door. Hicks is the only one who's found 1. He's found a second, but not the third and most important. It will be Clutch Rain X War that take the first.
Wow. I mean, you called it right, Bryce. It really is that difference maker of Denza finding 2 up top. And Hixie not winning that one, whether or not he stopped shooting or he just gets absolutely obliterated. Whatever your view on it, it certainly changes the tide of the game at the very end here. Locks down that close spawn, guarantees you the initial hardpoint time. And while we know that hill to be a money hill, not easy to break whatsoever. And a very close start here for Station 3 between those 2 juggernauts here from Europe. But the action, again, continuing here for us. You take a look at 5 Media Clan. This is another one of EU's top squads, and they are still very much alive in the upper bracket here up against Lore.
Well, let's see how that game is going on. I think it's our only active game, so let's jump straight into it. And surprise, surprise, it's a close one. As we say that, P2, the scrap time has just been taken, and that's a wonderful wipe, actually. Lore, not even close. They will have the bodies, though, to try and contest this spawn.
Oh, yeah, go. Just trying to duck, stay low if he can, but the overwhelming push through the back might be good to try to flip things out a tad bit. Yuli's able to put together another one, but it really is just Yuli against everyone here in the back. He has to continue to finesse, and Yuli is delivering. Up until that point, Super will finally stop Spree, but looks like 5 Media Clan still trying to lock down that back spawn, and Paulax has now found a window in. He's able to double up here with the help of his teammate, and they break in for the hill.
That's actually a really good break from Lore. They weren't in the better positions coming towards it. You can already see 5 Media Clan trying to split the map, trying to hit them from a few different angles. Pressure towards the back there. That's a huge kill from Journey. It's going to take away guns from the main site. They're trying to fight all over. Rencor will get another one. This comes down to a couple of 1v1. Super gets you out the spawn, and now they're looking for the hill player Azuli, and he somehow gets that with the help of 2 Real, finds one himself, and they have managed to fight this from bad side.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. From the front, they've contested a lot of this time. It looks like with that double up, Yakko should be able to lock in some of this scrap time, and that will be the case. Everyone's already rotated to do, and 5 Media Clan are completely on top of it. They got numbers in and around the point. You have to flood through the middle here if you're Lore Gaming, and it looks like they're able to bully their way through just a tad bit, but Super still lurking down low, looking to play upset.
This is a good rotation from Lore, though. Holding off that first flurry of kills, it always ends up for the other team having to remake map control before they can get back into the point. You see them now searching through mid, being slow, wondering where they are. They don't know. Lore Gaming are just stacked in the point.
They don't know Rancor's here either, so he could potentially surprise 1 or 2 of these members if he gets an angle. Arsenes is not going to see him on this chow, so if Rancor hits the gas, he has a chance, and well, he is able to find Yuli, but through the front and through the middle, it just has not worked out successfully here. 5 Media Clan still trying to bully their way through you with the nades over the top. It does give them the cover fire they need to break in, but again, it is just scrap time here as this one is extremely close.
Arsenes on a 5 streak as well, just staying alive, looking for his 6. He's going to jump in the hill with his teammates, and they won't give it to him. He's getting assists. Assists is not good enough for that cruise missile, but they do break back in. As we go into this next set of rotations, a 10-point game with Lore Gaming fully in control of P1.
This is where you want to be right now. You can really lock down a lot of P1 time, especially if you can get a read on where the spawns are. We've seen it happen many, many times before. Down by 25, Media Clan need to break in, and right now the gunfights are not coming their way. Super taken out, 2 Real now up with a spree. You got Alec also here with 5 in a row, looking for number 6 to try to earn that cruise missile.
They have taken over. Lore Gaming just in the better position. I was saying, there's a little bit of a pinch going on. They did manage to get Rencor all the way around the back, and they completely wiped them out. Opportunity to double up as well. Can they hold this little bit of scrap time while keeping the rotation? You see players spreading across the map now as well. And it's going to be Arsenis going towards the back spawn. This is huge. Rencor is going to fall. And now for 5 Media Clan, from what was a really good position, they're a bit split as Arsenis continues to go to work.
He almost puts together 3. I mean, that would have been a solo hold all by himself. His teammates spawn basically in Narnia there, so no one's really able to add in some of those reinforcements up until they get to the pool side. But is it going to matter? The spawns are here in the back. You need to break in with the actual kills, and right now that is not happening for 5 Media Clan. Super, the only one that's piecing together kills. He's up to 6 in a row, make it 7. And while Super doing it all at the moment, trying to keep his team in the game.
This is going down to the wire again. 5 Media Clan in a good position. You're going to see a little bit of a push here. Too Real is behind, trying to get away from that scrap time. Finds Journey as well. Super's already pushed up, looking for the next here. This could be a bit of a collapse. They're going to try and get both. Super wants to go for the next here. They are fighting between 2 lots of teams as Yakko finds 2. Uli backs off as well. It's a little bit of a chaos around this rotation. They are looking for the player towards the back. They know he's going to be there. And they found it. They are going to fight from good side for this.
This is your first real opportunity here for 5 Media Clan to maybe lock down a rotation, but it's actually going to force the cruise missile out of Super. He is still on 8 in a row. He's been alive for quite a while, and Too Real actually pushes all the way to the back, and while the cruise is just nowhere to be found, finds absolutely no value. It more or less just costs you some more time. In Lord Gaming, they have a chance to end it on this point if we don't see a break.
For Rencor, trying to find Arsenis. He isn't going to be able to. There's still so much time available onto this point. They will have to try and break. Super goes in. The Renetti is not going to be good enough. Journey will trade, but there's nobody else there for them. And with 5 Media Clan looking like they could have done a wonderful bit of 2P2 to P3, it ends up the game is going to go against them, and Lord Gaming will take map number 1.
How about that? When we joined, it was about a 10-point lead there for 5 Media Clan, and Super was the only one that was able to kind of keep, you know, some of that consistency going, but the subs really struggling there between Journey and Yakko. On the other side, you got some great moments out of Too Real and Uli that were just winning a lot of those impactful gunfights on rotation, in and around the point. Makes the difference there. My goodness. Very, very close hard points just about through every single match that we have. And now it's a matter of where you want to go to next. You got 3-1 right now for FaZe Black over Houston Spartans. At Brooklyn are also kicking out their match here in the S&D. So wherever you want to go, Bryce, I am down for it.
Well, I really don't mind. Let's jump into Station 1. That's always a good place to start. I think it's a little bit further ahead. Not by an awful lot, but by a tiny, tiny amount. There we go. FaZe Black is 3-1 to FaZe Black at the moment. Let's see how they continue moving forward. Right now, looking pretty good. They are going to go onto the attack, though. And how do they hit this? A bit of bridge control.
Throwing out just some of that utility, but gets tagged up, has to back down. The nade will not finish off the kill, and he's got a lot of support around him, so he's not too worried about a push down low, and he's going to actually re-attack you. Really fighting for some of that mid-map control here, but Spart, good shots under Rex, will even up the odds. 3v3 we go.
Both teams wolf-packing a little bit. You see the Houston Spartan moving for the trade. The other side of it, FaZe Black, and they're going to go, by the look of it, towards B again. Everybody going around the map together on opposite sides, and as they clear more, they know where the players aren't. Players are even going towards bridge. This really is the entire way around. Everybody is gone.
Yeah.
White Wild just cut back.
They've read it. They've read it, but it's too little too late for as far as getting the bomb down in a seam. Lines them both up, and fire goes. Where are my teammates? Well, unfortunately, they are gone. Sent to the next round, and he will quickly follow. What a play call it is from FaZe Black, whether it's a great read or wherever it is. It is an incredible play, and a seam comes up huge to end with 3 in a row.
Well, well, well. A seam. Those players weren't weak. They just died. That was just incredibly one-sided. And now we're going to see FaZe Black really running away with this search and destroy. The seam on a 3 streak. Too little to play for that cruise missile yet, but get 1 or 2 more and it'll be in the back of his mind.
Well, the nade stuns, trophy systems, everything thrown out here at the start. And as he wants to, looks like, put the pedal to the metal a little bit here. The dead silence is going to be popped. Looking for maybe some information here. Checking his corners, ready to pounce. While this happens, though, the bomb is going down at A. The team just trying to desperately track down Spart. Tags onto him. There it is. Kill number 4 and almost gets 5.
Seam looking for it, but doesn't matter. Exceed's going to get that one anyway. And now bomb down, but it's going to be a big retake. That player is wild, by the way. Wiz all the way away from the bomb site, and now Fire is alone to 1 versus 3. Has to go back and check bomb, unfortunately. Can't really do any more. Exceed's going to be straight on it. Finds the first one. Has to get out of it. Needs to try and find 2 1v1s. Isn't going to find it. And Brack gets the defuse. 5-1 now, FaZe Black.
Wow. FaZe Black, when they get to land, they really do become a different beast. And you're seeing it live in action at the moment. 5-1 up. Asim has just started to really piece together a couple of key kills here over these last 2 rounds. And he's working towards streaks, but Brack not going to give any kind of a clutch play to come through here on the other side. He is there for the reads, there for the shots. And you might very well put it away right here if you're FaZe Black. The Spartans are running out of answers.
Asim, does he play for this cruise missile? That'll be the question. Been electric so far. Difficult. It's always difficult to play around it, especially on Search and Destroy. Looking for it. Knows what this player's going to be, and that's a long shot. Is this the potential? The Houston Spartans have enough in the tank to make their way back into this. It's always going to be difficult on a map like this. Anything could go wrong very, very quickly. They are going to be on the attack. For FaZe Black, one good hit will end this and send it to the control.
That's the call for the Spartans. Do we just try to bang out the site, get this bomb down? That looks to be the call. Wiz not going to waste any time whatsoever. Overwatch here over the top of you. But apparently we got some other matches, of course, happening while this one could potentially end for us. 5-2 up. Again, looking to put it away as the bomb is down.
Oh, Exceed's killed Asim. That's not what you want when you're trying to retake. Exceed getting his health back. So many players towards bridge as well. Blowfrost takes out Dylan Rex. There's just too many angles to fire from, and Brack has found 2, but now running for his life and will go down as well. Houston Spartans staying alive.
I like the play call, right? Let's just try to get aggressive. Let's not waste any time. A lot of times, you see teams down 3-4 rounds. They want to play it patient. They want to almost just hope that someone runs into them, gives them that freebie, and they can start working off the trades with the numbers advantage. But they are just able to more or less catch FaZe Black a little bit off guard here. Their mid push, and it'll work out quite well. So that's 2 in a row. Still 3 more rounds needed, but slowly but surely, Houston Spartans are climbing their way and fighting their way back into this one.
Just got to keep doing it, though. That's the most difficult thing. They've got to keep doing it for 3 more rounds. No mistakes allowed. FaZe Black heading towards A. Frost is going to find the first. No, doesn't. Now has to back off very, very quickly. It's going to go down. That's first blood here now to FaZe Black. Opportunity to end this S&D. And there's just firing through the doorway, but nobody falls.
Oh my, they're just flying out of boxes here, but you've also lost Sparty, who was playing that backside of your spawn. You were hoping to, at the very least, get 1 out of him. And it looks like FaZe Black are just going to rotate to B. They already have the bomb here. They have Rex watching over, and this is going to be a extremely difficult retake for the Spartans in the 2v4.
And they need it. Wiz and Fire have to be better than they've ever been. There's too many angles already. One goes down, and Fire will find a seam, making it 1 versus 3, but 25 seconds when his health comes back. And they will shoulder. He finds another one. Has to either just go straight for this or find the kill. Just not got the time to check the corners, and FaZe Black will take that search and destroy. They go up 2-0 in the series. It looks like we've also seen another game end. Omit, Brooklyn have taken down SGP Midnight. They're up 2-0 in their series as well.
Well, I thought we were going to get some more potential bangers going map 4s, map 5s, but of course still a chance for that to happen.
However, could be a potential swift upper bracket here in our winner semifinals. Again, these are important matches, not only to guarantee yourself a top 3 placing here at Challenger Finals, but to also have a huge opportunity to go to EWC a little bit later after champs here. But if we take a look at this one, this is, of course, our lower matchup again. So these two are just hoping to try to stay alive in the tournament as it's all tied up 3 apiece.
Vortex finding Bance, though. That's a huge early win for them. OMDU, though, still not really taking a lot of map control. It's Vortex up far and nade his own face. They're going for an A hit here, but I wonder if they're going to call to go back to B. They are trying to pull Clutch Rain all over the map, and they've done it.
Yeah, they've baited them out here. It'll be interesting to see if they try to go inside of Hotel whatsoever, just to be sure. But at the very least, they're happy with their 2-man setup at A. You got Denza, who's going to be isolated at B, responsible for pretty much purely playing info to his teammates on if they decide to cross. And now that smoke is out, he's going to throw one of his own. Denza looks to fly.
Oh, Denza!
Oh, no way.
Horrible smoke fight. It's always horrible when that happens, but now OMDU just finding the kills. They didn't need to the clock in the end, but it did force everybody to just pile forward. They've taken the lead in the search and destroy. It really comes down to just tiny, tiny moments. See Wee Man get back off the bomb there and just drill Cobra in the face.
Yeah, that play really does feel like it's almost on Denza to potentially get you one, but unfortunate aim assist, of course, in the smokes never makes it easy to track some of these players. And with it, it will allow for some easy kills to come through there for OMDU, still maintaining that lead up by about 1. But back on the attack now will be Clutch Rain X War. We'll see what their plan of attack is here for an important round 8.
Bit of a pressure. B. Oh, Denz really wants to put that smoke down, but as it goes down, all bets are off. They've got a double setup here as well. Vance is going to call this, but it's just a vulnerable position. We'll have to back off. Smoke's going down. Pressure coming through. Clutch Rain want this site, but they know it's a difficult take. Cobra's going to be up top. The smoke is going to cover him as well. He's looking for the second. Vance gets the trade. More players flooding through. They're looking for Wee Man now. Wee Man is flying around every direction to find him. He knows where Vance is going to be. Oh no! Oh no! Wee Man has just not used it with the Renetti. Eventually recovers. And no one there for the trade either. This is chaos on bridge on B. Wee Man still recovering. Will fall to Cobra. And now Hixie's left in a 1 versus 2, and he falls as well. What on earth was that?
That was almost very scary there for Wee Man. He almost got completely clipped. Runs out of ammo there. Swaps back to the AR. Finishes it off just barely. But man, oh man. If he doesn't win that battle, you feel like this round just completely crumbles. My goodness. Wild things happening to tie us up here for a piece. But you can see just how much focus there really is just in and around that fountain backstairs area to cover and watch over B. But these two playing extremely close. History, of course, throughout this entire year with one another. And now we'll see what OMDU can do on the attack.
Well, may this round be a little bit more simple. All pressure towards B again. Denza just throwing the shoulder, although that wasn't the entire body, he was just wiggling between the doorway. Cobra's already found Hixie. A very good first pick. We're going to be up top. He wants to take down Denza, but does give away his position. Clutch Rain actually playing quite passive. Look at them across the map. Sitting back P2, sitting bottom fire. I think that might actually be top fire for Lucifer. And then they've got Denza just peeking back and forth on 1-player bridge. Hopefully you can apply pressure here if they can find the right spot.
Really does feel like Cobra is the guy that's going to have to find maybe this first blood here for you or keep them off the bomb. Long range Shao. Vortex will happily take that one. Wee Man tries to press the advantage, and Cobra does manage to work out for another one. But is it going to matter? Mythics in a 1v2 has the bomb. The time, however, is not on his side.
I think Bats just saw him. He did. Just as he went down the stairs. And Clutch Rain get onto map point. This is an elimination match. This is not to move forward in this tournament. The loser of this goes out. And what a bit of rivalry it's been all year. Players have changed hands. Will Clutch Rain X4 be the team that gets out ahead now?
He very well could do it. One more round to go 2-0 up, and I think we've seen what Omid EU can do in control at times, but with this kind of momentum and playing this well, you might be able to carry it on through, but still need to close out the search. Can't count out Omid EU by any means. It is once again an attacking round here for Clutch Rain X4. Last time was big focus to be, and looks to be the case here again.
Smoke's down. Chaos abound. Vortex is so far forward. This is technically an untradeable position unless Wee Man can help him. They're going to look for him as well. Vortex has found one. Crazy to find it. That's everything he needed to do. Did not sell his life for nothing. And it's crawling behind the barricade.
He's just screaming for help, isn't he? Oh, through the crack. Unbelievable shots there from Wee Man. Can't find the transfer. Good shots from Harry to at least get one back, and now Cobra's done it as well. So this all falls on Hixie. Can he get his hands on an AR? Looks like he will. You certainly want one from this position.
Oh, he's found Cobra as well. There goes the nade. Cobra might be dead. No, Cobra survives! Even after being peppered. He's going to go for it again, but Cobra is waiting. Hasn't moved. And Clutch Rain X-War, they do take the search and destroy. They are now up 2-0.
Scary position for Omid EU now in this series. Have to find 3 maps straight if you're going to stay alive and make it to that next round there in the lower bracket. Not a situation anyone wants to be in, knowing that elimination is on the line. Your year could very well come to an early end before you see what everyone wants to see, which is, of course, that Sunday. But, man, Clutch Rain certainly showing up in a big way here. The action, of course, continues. Omid Brooklyn going to be putting on a bit of a clinic themselves here at midnight. Also down and very well could be eliminated themselves if they don't win this map.
Oh, here it goes, the push, and I mean, it's pretty much a standard invasion control, right? That defense, it's very, very strong. 10 seconds ago, you have to commit towards one way or the other. Purge is going to go for this. He's found the kill. They're going to get on to B. Just need to not die now. Trophies have to be down. Purge doesn't have one. Already some nades hitting them. A bit panic. Second tick in here, and there we go. There's already another nade. Purge still does not have a trophy. There is one out for them, but still being a problem. He's worried there's going to be players coming through. Purge finds Eric Boone. That's huge. Proloot backs him. No! He didn't get off the point! He didn't get off the point! And oh my god, Proloot has saved them. And now on to A. But it's 6 versus 16.
A little bit of dancing coming out there from Proloot. Byron with some swift moves to make sure that they keep themselves alive. The lives, however, probably the biggest problem here. If it wasn't the clock. Takes almost 30 seconds alone to get from that back offensive spawn to the point. And we are now down to 40. Salt still got a pretty forward position through mid. He's able to cut one, gets a read on the second. Tries the ego chow. And will be well banged out. Some good kills that come through, but you got to be perfect from here on out.
They're being pretty good. Purge trying to stay down. Temps flowed in, but picked the wrong corner. Salt's taking him down. They've got an opportunity here. Cammy is going to fall, though, and they've got it.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Omid Brooklyn have somehow won that round. They shouldn't have done so. 6 versus 16. They had to mess around with 4.3 seconds left to go. And then that should have just been traded. It should not have even been close, but they managed to get the B to A transfer flawlessly. SGP Midnight. We might be saying goodbye.
Yeah, we might be after a moment like that where you lose an invasion round 1 on defense. That is just not what you want to see. Huge fumble. And you need to regain very quickly. As Proloot's going to grab first blood. He also has a chance now to work for a streak. No one's watching inside of cutout, so he's able to fly right through, and Temp at least makes up for it with a double. So there's still a chance to make something happen on the point, but you don't have a whole lot of reinforcements with you just yet if you're Temp.
Players flying towards this point here, you can see. And Brooklyn not ready to give it up yet. Just being careful, though. They have got a player over towards A to make sure nobody sneaks in, but right now, for Brooklyn, they might just back off.
Prolute here from the backside. I don't think he's going to give this a look. They have to worry about what's happening in their spawn, and all of a sudden things start to change very, very quickly. They're already able to make a quick move on to A there for a moment, but was going to be cleaned off here from one of the members for Brooklyn. Now fighting for just some of your base control right now. Cammy's forced to press forward, and his teammates, I think, are winning the battles to allow them to start pressing back out onto the map. And we'll see if Cammy can get some good work done now through mid.
Cammy, the storyline around this year is obviously very poor performance in the CDL, got him dropped, and then has been really a wrecking force through challenges. Not having the greatest of controls right now, but still very much fighting for survival.
Back inside of mid, trying to get control of this. It's almost like you always want a defensive member here. Be able to play off all the angles and just play off the info that you're going to get from your teammates around you. And with 3 players going down, this is where you got to be a little bit worried about the spawn trap. Temp already aware of where some of the players are going to be attacking from. Prolute going to try to back up and play his life, and a lot of this is about stalling at the clock now. Down to about 60 seconds left in round 2.
I'm just waiting, and now few big fights. They've got to be careful. Brooklyn not in the best of position there if they've lost those gunfights. Coming back off it, don't have the map control they would quite want yet. Awakening, that's big. They're going to push that line back now quite far. Say that until Cammy dies.
Temp needs to win some big battles, and that's such a hard battle to win versus Prolute on the heady. Verge ready to find trades if needed, and nobody's getting a look at this point right now. Not a good situation to be in. Gonna have to just start to fly if you're Midnight. Cammy's also getting a great read through the right side of the street. And you are now down to 20 seconds left.
Probably finds one. It's all about trading this time away. Assault will have to just go straight for this point. They have to get on to stop the clock. That is their only goal. Looking from towards the back, they're going to go down. Means it's on Capsule. Capsule's going to fall as well. Nobody really going to be close. Omit 2-0 up in the control.
Wow. I mean, the big difference, it feels like after they get that zone, no one's able to push through and stay alive at the base. You saw Assault get there at the very end here as he dies in the kill cam, but up until that point, no one had really done it for about 90 seconds. It was just that constant spawn trap blender that we always allude to here on Invasion, and they're not able to get out of it. So after the fumble in round 1, and not able to make it happen here on offense for round 2, you might be looking at what could be your final round if Omit Brooklyn can repeat what they did in that opening round.
Not the easiest of things to do on Invasion, but certainly plausible, and has actually been more frequent as the year has gone on. Pretty standard break, though. Going straight into it as well. While Capsule will take down Purge, that's just the A pressure. Most teams like to put on at least have one player to go towards it so they can't commit fully to B. Probably we're trying to slay out here. He knows he's got teammates backing up. They're waiting for it, and probably could have had 2, but they'll be happy to stay alive.
He will. Triples up with the zone, actually. They're just looking for a fast capture, and I don't know if anyone's going to be able to make a move fast enough defensively, and they do maybe play for exits here, so they're able to slow down the initial push, but Purge makes up for it with a pretty big double. And now he's also able to play his life. Might get the regen off, and almost pieces together 3, but Eric Boom will be able to find the eventual trade. Now we focus to mid, and a lot of this is not going to be defended just yet. 50-50 battles on the way.
Here we move, though. This is a long, long marathon most of the time. Omit are going to go for it. Which they do lose a player. But this has to be successive waves of kills. Keep fighting for map control. Wait for that string that allows you to commit. You can already see they're trying to hold off A without anybody in it. Eric Boom on the 5 streak has put them back to square one.
You'd love to get this cruise missile if you're going to find 3 rounds in a row. Lore Gaming, how about that? They actually lose their rounds 11. So that is now going to tie things up 1 apiece after what has been a fun back and forth series. But back into this one with about 1:15 left. You still got some good mid-map positioning. Got a chance to be able to break through. As everyone's starting to gear up here with the double team, they're able to find themselves 1, a chance to touch the zone. Cammy throws himself on, and he's got a trophy to work with.
Just wants to try and find at least 1 here. Isn't going to get it. They've burned about 1 minute of that extra time they got. Live still pretty even. Like I said, it is difficult to do this. but it flips as soon as you find those kills. Awakening finds one. Pressure mounting though, but straight down, and that is a disaster. Cammy, I think it must have been a stun kill by the look of it, onto his teammate. Gonna make up for it now with an absolute drill. Will fall.
Tough spot now to be sure. It feels like you've almost recovered enough, as a lot of players are forced to funnel through that old lane there at Zone B. And Eric Boom has the cross. He's also working for yet another streak. Been playing quite well over the last couple of rounds, up to 22 and 13. And Assault's going to make it that much harder for anyone else here for Omen Brooklyn to try to make their way to the zone. And based off these positions, you can pretty much assume we will see yet another round, but certainly some good opportunities, some good moments. Just not able to capitalize fully here on the attack. Unless Purge flies to the zone, I would be hard-pressed if he makes it through. Just about, though.
Gave it a good go. Trying to be slippery, but it is always going to be a bit of a difficult one on invasion. You can't get it going, and the players just managed to trade effectively. Quite happy to just bleed it out. Eric Boom, though, 24 and 13. Crazy scores from him. They've got to do it again, though, on their attack.
You go for something unconventional. When you're in a situation like this, do you risk it for the biscuit? Do you just play standard and just try to get that extra minute and hope to get through the spawn, hope to get 2 or 3 down at some point in time to fly to the zone? And it looks like it will be very standard opening. Back over to B. Capsule will fly forward.
I wonder if Omen Brooklyn are playing a little bit cautious. You can see they've not put a lot of pressure on. Boom finds it there. It feels like they're playing scared. They're just dying. Eric Boom finds another, and now the pressure continues to mount. Only one player sitting onto it. It just gives them so much time to keep walking towards A. That's exactly what they're doing. The player is going to get in as well. A little bit outnumbered. The rest of Omen Brooklyn are going to commit to this heavy. They do not want it to go down here, but Capsule is flying to the rescue. Finds 2. That first tick is almost gone.
Oh, Assault up to 5. Almost snaps onto Awakening. Trades back and forth there for the moment, and all of this pressure now constantly coming to this A point. They're not focused on B, and you can feel the desperation really sitting in right now for Omen Brooklyn, just trying to play defense. They are struggling to find the kills, and Eric Boom makes his way in, able to find a big one. The nade will clear him off, so they're able to take a pause and take a breath here, as everything should turn back to B, you would imagine.
Now the pressure. At midnight, one thing they can't afford to do is be locked away. They still have players out. You can hear that cruise missile crack the air. And it is just pushing them back. That's exactly what they wanted it for. 33 seconds left to go. All that pressure towards A, all it's really done is not given them B.
Almost a nasty snap there. And you said it. They still need to make their way to B. Have to try to lock in these final couple ticks. FaZe Black have now taken out the Houston Spartans, and they qualify for EWC. So our first Challengers team that will be there. Try to play up against some of the big dogs and prove themselves at the top level. But while we take a look at the final seconds here, it is looking like a B capture. So there is that extra minute. Midnight still in it, but need to get some critical work done here with 1:14 left.
You will find one, though, and you are right. This is where it gets a little bit dangerous. And, oh, well, okay, I say that. Cammy is looking like he's going to try and shut the door. They don't have pressure towards A Street, and that's the only thing they haven't managed to lock down yet. You know, are trying to fight it out. Nobody going towards Cammy, who's now just kind of been played out the game. Eventually, he will find a player. Got to be patient. Awakening, just keeping the players from getting into A and stopping this clock. Cammy will find one here as well. The last 2 players of Midnight are going to ground just to keep a way open for their teammates to join them.
Wow. Cammy's got the whole right side of the map completely blocked off, and he could pinch behind this play. So if you wait too long, if you're Midnight, it might all slip away from you in these final seconds right here, unless they can get a read on it. And Capsule actually does find Cammy on the pinch. They're able to put together a second. Prolute, though, comes up with 2 huge ones. Temp from the front. Can he find the entry? No, he cannot. 15 seconds left. You're looking at what will be the final push and maybe the last moment here for Midnight in the tournament.
There they go, straight in, 10 seconds. They want to find a player. Nobody is showing themselves here for the moment. Brooklyn. Eric Boom is trying to find it. No, down they fall. Cammy and Purge combining. They have all the crosses. They have all the sight lines. That's a wipe. It's not a fight. And Omid Brooklyn will take down SGP Midnight 3-0. That's another 3-0 in this round.
Yet another 3-0 coming through here for us. But saying goodbye to Midnight after putting on a very nice performance yesterday. Remember, these guys started off very slow in their group, but managed to get revenge versus their sister team for their qualification spot, and did it in pretty dominating fashion in some of those maps. But they will now say goodbye. That is their exit. Omid, though, still very much alive. And now their sister team from EU is also fighting for their lives here on High Rise, as it's all tied up one apiece.
Just looking for this one. Both teams, funnily enough, play this map pretty similar. They'll go for the TDM style whenever they can. Diving the spawns, getting the kills. 9-9, it's very, very close. 40 seconds left to go here. Omid, you looking at combine, and Denza somehow getting away from Mythics there is unbelievable. Getting the kill is even better. And now for Omid EU, it's a very bad situation and a little less time than you want.
You have Weeben in a pretty solid position. Doesn't look like anyone really has a read on that just yet, so he could potentially play upset here, come all the way around the back. And yeah, Weeman does find Harry there, who was responsible for watching just about this entire laneway. So there's a chance to get through, but Denza and Bance gonna make it fairly difficult. Tixie, nowhere to go. Tagged up, taken down, and Denza ends with 3 to close out the round here. Locking in the defense, Clutch Rain X War. It will be up 2-1.
Just having a look at some of the scores here. Denza obviously has 3. That's 22 and 15.
Wow.
I do think I saw Bance's score there just before we switched off of him. I think he's 27 and 12, probably 27 and 13 now, which is ridiculous, even though he has had 2 defenses.
Oh my goodness.
27 and 13. We don't know what happened in the other 2 rounds, but it must have been pretty close in some direction. Can they win an attack, though, and end this?
That's what you would love to do here. I'd also love to get the cruise if you're Denza. A lot of value again on High Rise. And all Mythics. Man, what a chow that is. So denying the streak, but the play is still very much alive here on the point, and they're going to be able to get a couple members to stack it, 3 to be sure. So you really are going to have a look at this if you're Omid. You're still fighting out of your spawn.
Just trying to hold them off, and that B point is captured. It gives them a lot of time. Trying to stay alive. You can see everybody getting away. Weeman, though, going to find it. If he had died at Cobra there, it would have been disastrous. Players going through. They're going for the spawn here. Clutch Rain X War going to be in. This is all on Denza. Finds the first. They're going for blood. He's not going to get the second. Trying to hold it down for long enough. Harry now looking for Hicks. He knows there's going to be players all around him. Will fall as well. Valiant in the end here from Clutch Rain X War, but Omid EU just able to get the trades they need.
Bance, a lot to deal with here in front of him. Up to 29 and 15 right now. Just about double positive on this control. And Vortex, unfortunate mantle, or melee, will be the end of him in that life. We'll see what happens on the point, and this is finally a moment where you get to stabilize here. If you're Omid EU, you've been struggling to get out of your spawn and try to grab some map control, but this is a moment where you can really grab a hold of this round with about 1:30 left. The live start just about dead even.
Yeah, they try to get into the spawn again, try to get the kills going, but unfortunately has now been put into theirs. Mythics throwing every bullet at it, eventually finds Bance on a 5 here. Will really want that cruise missile, isn't going to grab it. For Omid EU, it is just about this pushback. Get them into that spawn, get us into our next round. We do not want to let this go.
Lucifer needs to find this one onto Hixie. Can't allow Hixie to stay alive back here in the HUD, and Hixie, some clean movement. Almost finishes them off. 13 now playing up against 12. 50 seconds left on this clock. Vortex is still in a fantastic position. He just rips the head right off of Lucifer. They are now no longer a part of this play for now. Cobra looking just for a bit of an overview on the map, and he's going to get some pretty critical info. He's going to give some callouts to his team, as he's going to now find 2. And he turned it into a 3rd Hixie. No, he's there to try to finish him off. So 30 seconds left. Yes, the only one pushed forward.
Oh, he stays alive as well. He's found 2. 20 seconds to go, and he's wondering where he needs to be. That's where Vortex is. Already calls it out to his teammates. They're getting a couple of kills here. Bance might go for the spawn kills. They've stopped the clock at 16 seconds. Mythix is still being a problem, though. Have to shut him down. They found the extra bodies. Mythix gives his team enough time to get back in position. And I just don't see any way for Clutch Rain to really do this now. Although saying that, Cobra finds one. They're going to jump back on the point. More trying to get players up top. They found 2. 6.9 seconds to go. It's a 2 versus 3. Clutch Rain against 3 of them. They're looking for it. Cobra dancing back and forth as tacticals and grenades go against him. Hixie will find Cobra. Bans for a 1 versus 3. Can only find 1. OMEDU get the defense, but only just.
Yeah, they certainly made it spicy for us, didn't they? My goodness. It was looking a little bit scary there when the nade connected. I was a little bit worried, but you could see where Hixie was with his position, just sitting at the back there. He had the entire right completely covered, and you know he's screaming that communication. Saying, I got your right, just focus on the left. That's what they do. They double team. They're able to find it. But now the big question, well, who has defense for round 5?
Well, it is going to be Clutch Rain X War. They are 2-0 up in the series. They mustn't let the pressure get to them. Bance takes a little love tap off the rip here, and we can see pretty standard break. They're going for it as well. Will be Lucifer who finds Hixie first, though. Everybody throwing everything, and Vortex stays alive, but he's the only person left, and they know roughly where he's going to be. Vortex actually pops the deli, and he goes to spawn.
Huge chance to pick up some kills, stay alive. Oh, it's red, though. They know that Vortex is missing on the map. Likely names being called out.
Oh,
They read it perfectly. Yeah, this is not what you want. You do not want to be in the blender right here, right now. Still have a chance to at least capture B for the extra minute, but this is not looking great by any means.
This is a little bit of a disaster for OMEDU. Hixie desperately trying to find Bance. Will eventually get the pixel he needs. They aren't back in the blender yet. They have lost a lot of them here, but Vortex finds 2. Back on the front foot. And still looking to cut some down. Will find a very important kill. 28 seconds left to go. OMEDU will have to jump point.
Just gonna have to win these gun battles and brute force your way into the point. There is no other way to win it. Bance up top with the angle. Does find Mythix. Couple players left on the map here for OMEDU, but they are down in lives. They only have 15 seconds left. It is now do or die.
I found 3. Cobra just trying to play his life. Not going to find Vortex. They're into B here. 4.2 seconds to stop. Every nade in the world is going to hit this point. They want him off now. That trophy has done an awful lot of work. Mythix and Hixie, though, finding more kills. Denzel will find 1. Teammates coming back off the spawn. The problem is always going to be this nade rain that is going to continue to pile in. More trophies hitting the point. More players piling in as well. There's 3. Weeman has to stand against the tide. He falls as well. And so will OMEDU. They are out of champs. Clutch Rain X War will move forward.
Wow. OMEDU with an early exit here on Saturday. Definitely not something I had on my bingo card. But you know, one of these 2 huge juggernauts from Europe had to exit in round number 1. And there is just not enough here from OMEDU through these last 3 maps, playing a lot of them, you know, extremely close. Just not going to be able to do it. And how about that? Some of those ex-players, too. You talk about Bance and Hixie playing a little bit earlier on in the year. Back on Team War. My goodness. They're going to be able to stay alive. Looking pretty solid there. And, well, we move on to what is going to be our last team in the upper bracket here for Europe, 5 Media Clan, but you have Lore Gaming that has also been pretty fierce on the day, as this one's tied up 1-1.
Well, we don't know what's happened so far, but we'll tell you what happens from now. This is a very important one, actually. We told earlier, 5 Media Clan, undefeated so far at Search and Destroy. That's certainly something the other teams are going to worry about moving forward, but at the moment having a pretty good defense. A little bit of a team kill takes the tempo out of their wings, but still sitting pretty.
Oh, trying to finesse, work through the crevices, the little angles, anything you can really look through there. Well, 15 seconds left here in round number 3. feeling pretty hard pressed again for Lord Gaming to try to make their way to a point, but that maybe gives them an opening. They do have 2 players here through B long. There is a chance for a touch. Have to win the battles though. Yuli says no problem on the first super. However, the trades are good. Rancor also follows up for one more, and there you have it. That will be the defensive round. Taken pretty securely here for the most part. Able to grab themselves, I think, what, just 1 tick going over, if any?
Yeah, and that's always something we've got to keep an eye on, right? We talk about it going forward. Defense is always going to be a little bit favored on this one, simply because the A point it's basically a nade trap. That is always the issue. It's going to be overwhelming those trophies. It makes it very difficult to cap. Kind of the same as B, but there are more corners on B. And this is why, you know, when you get the ticks, you say, realistically, most teams should be aiming to get that 3 tick on a B. Like, that's the golden rule. Get it in, not only to get you more time, but in the grand scheme of things, you have to kind of hit that baseline of ticks to make sure you put yourself in the best position if it does go the distance.
What can Lord Gaming do to make up for it on the defense? Can they match with 0 ticks coming through themselves? See, RCD's here. He's been fantastic today. Hasn't been necessarily popping off so far in this map. He's put up some big numbers over the weekend, really showing up in a big way. Super, however, on the other hand, has been matching it. This map, it's going to be Rancor at 23. 30 now with a battle in front of him. Won't be able to win that 1v1. Yuli coming up in a big way here to try to keep these safe.
They found a couple. They're actually going to get onto this A point. There is an extension here by Lord Gaming. They've gone really to look for the spawns and have let players slip through. Turiel, though, finds a gap and finds 2. Su was actually cut back for him. And Turiel find him as well. Says, all right, thank you very much. I'll keep on going. And Turiel looking for the spawn is going to fall eventually. But that flurry of kills, it shut down all of the momentum 5 Media Clan had.
It absolutely did. Turiel finding 3 kills. Draws 1 more player back. I mean, it was a perfect setup. But what a way to break it open. Yakko, however, responds with a nice little 2-piece of his own. And he will stop the clock. Looking for that first tick on B. Paulex wants to stop. It flies in, looking for some shots. Able to put together the first one. Goes to the pistol and puts together the second one. And they do not get the tick. So Paul with a huge save here in the round.
And this should be over. 5 Media Clan would have to make magic happen. Journey looking for that player down low. Probably calling for reinforcements. Makes the kill, though. Uli's still being a problem towards the spawn. Yakko will find him. They stop the clock for just a few seconds. Arseny's throwing bullets and gets taken down. The pre-fire gets him killed. Super trying to back up his teammate. Has found 1. They find another. Still alive on the B point. Reinforcements in as well. They've got to be careful of the nades here, though. But Yakko has gone for the spawn.
This is not what you want to see right now if you're Lord Gaming. You have to recover and recover quickly because you could transfer right from B to A here, especially if Yakko could put together some more kills. But Turiel is able to shut him down. With that extra minute, however, you got a lot of options here. The life's also fairly low. 11 playing up against 10.
Waiting for him as well. Paulex trying to fight towards the front. Super will get 1 more. Journey will get another. Rancor and Uli. Uli is waiting for him, and Rancor knows but doesn't get the kill anyway. They're on to A. Players coming off the respawns, though. This will be a advantage to Lord Gaming. They just have more players closer. Journey is not able to stem the tide. 6 versus 7.
Yakko wants to take a route. Once again, has slipped underneath here. Has a chance to blow open this play and get his team onto the point. But he's going to take a bit of a route, take his time around the backside. Does he spot RCDs? Yes, he does. Snap is good. Reads on to Turiel. Shots aren't as crisp as you'd like them to be, but he's still alive and he is still drawing attention.
Push that spawn all the way out, though, towards the window. This is just very much a TDM now. 6 versus 5. Journey going to be up top, looking for the kill. Nobody dies. Still going for it, trying to find more kills as well. Journey will find 1. 5 versus 5. Arcedes going for the flank at the same time. Yakko will find him. He's going to be found, though. And now it goes down to a 2 versus 3. Trophy's going to be down. That helps them out a little bit. The players coming off the respawn. Turiel finds the first. 2 versus 2. Trying to get those trophies out of there. This is insane. What an ending.
Final tick is here. On the way. Turiel going to contest. Needs to win the battle on the point. Both players just looking for an angle. Journey actually went through mid. Turiel's going to find him. 1v1. Super! Oh, just about doubles up. But Lord Gaming get there and win the 2 versus 3.
Unbelievable. the trades. Basically, 2Real getting that first kill gave them the trade advantage. That's all it really came down to. For 5 Media Clan, they almost had that control ready to go.
Big deep breaths after that one. And how about it? 5 Media Clan are able to get it. You go back to that last round where they only had 8 seconds to try to get to the zone, and they capture it and get that extra 3 ticks. That very well could have played the difference here. Again, we jumped in just about halfway through, so didn't get a tally up to that point. We have to imagine that is now the difference maker, and they have a chance to end it on defense.
Well, this is always the better position to be in. There are players in the spawn here. Uli has managed to get through. That's a full wipe.
Oh.
They're going to have Uli keep playing the spawn, though. They will just get B for free if they can. Refuge will be down. Uli just staying alive, and you can tell 5 Media Clan are a little bit shook. They want to know where he is. Uli finds the first. Super's going to try and get it as well, and he needed to make that one to give them a chance to get out. Huge kills by Super.
Yakko dancing with Paul X. And reinforcements might get here in time. Yeah, a little bit too much to deal with there for Paul. So they do find the trade. Do stop that final tick, but Yuli might be able to lock it in here with his teammate 2Real, and the duo does in fact do it. So this is exactly what you want for round 5. You got lots of time, and you're already transitioning over to the next zone.
Super. Just trying to make sure that nobody can push up on him. 5 Media Clan, they are down in lives. They've had a bit of a slower start to the defense. And with 1 minute 47 left to go, it's a little bit of a knee shaker. They're a little bit worried. Really has managed to push him all the way back. Super will find the kill, but the amount of space they have lost here, and just trying to throw it down. Paul X throws a nade, and his own teammate still stays alive onto the point. More pressure piling through, though. Every time you lose a trade onto the A side, it sets you so far back.
15 lives here with a minute 30 left. If you keep this pace and tempo going on a map like this, you could very well win this through lives. That first tick is locked in. That is really the good news here. If you're Lord Gaming, Mercedes, it's a little bit shaky there. Has not had the best map. Would love to see him pick it up here now. Super has just been a tad better through the back. 2Real also unable to find any kind of a gap through the back spawn. So everybody gearing up inside of blue. Need to find some key kills to open up space.
Rencourt does not know that he's about to be hit by many bodies. Stays alive as well. Waits for Super. I don't think they know Super's here. There's one. There's two. Wonders where the third is. Doesn't find it, but his teammate will. You can tell they were playing around it as well, and 1 kill off of the cruise missile. There's a bit of timing here. 2Real's going to be found. And this might be back to spawn here for Lord Gaming. They've got to be careful. Oh, another team kill.
The teammates. We need a tally. It feels like there's been at least 3 or 4 since us joining in. Arcades and Yuli. Oh no, not what you want to see right now for 5 Media Clan. Again, the lives are a pretty big problem here as well. So if you're able to stop the clock and just dwindle down these lives a little bit more, that is also a win condition. You have multiple ways to win this, and you're forced to play tight on the zone here if you're defending as 5 Media Clan.
Echo finds one, wants to stay alive, trying to get out of it. He's going to be under a little bit of pressure. He's going to fall as well. 8 versus 5. 5 Media Clan need a wipe, and it's a fight in the spawn here. Super versus Uli, he gets it, but it's a 4 versus 6, and they are on this point. They get a couple of trades going through. 2Real tries to get into it. Super takes him down. 14 seconds. Unfortunately, this makes it a 2 versus 3 onto the point. They just don't have the reinforcements yet. Uli going to be able to top take down Rencourt. A 1 versus 4. Has to dive in, and it will be Lord Gaming will win that. All the advantages 5 Media Clan could have had, and Lord Gaming will put them out. And it's 2-1 now in the series.
What a way to get it done. Round 5 offense, and I hit on it a couple times throughout that round, right? It's really the life differential. It's that rough start that came through for 5 Media Clan, and I think that they have still not won a single control this entire weekend, despite being extremely good in the search and destroys. And that has just not been something they've been able to close out, and you expect to close those ones out when you are on defense, on high rise, in those round 5s. So to not do it could very well hurt them now going into this next hardpoint map.
Yeah, it certainly can. A little bit of a momentum swing. I mean, 5 Media Clan were playing really, really well, but somehow the trading got just completely away from them, and maybe it was just the pressure of going into it. Right? Like, you know that it was such an important game moving forward, but I don't know. 5 Media Clan, they now need to win this hard point to send it to a map 5 and get into their strong side. Realistically, their Search and Destroy has been what has been powering them forward.
That's been the big factor, and they've played a lot of great hard points, you know, so far this weekend as well. It feels like that's been something that they've put a lot of effort in coming in towards this event. They've shown the improvement, but if you can get to a Search and Destroy, it feels like that is really your bread and butter. You have just the overwhelming confidence if you can get to that point. But Lore Gaming, I would say on the opposite end, I would say Hardpoint has been, you know, one of their bread and butters here. So it's a matter of trying to get the job done going in towards this map number 4. Just say this is where it ends right here. We do not want to see a Search and Destroy versus 5 Media Clan.
No, we certainly don't, and like I said, this is the one that is currently going the distance. Everybody else has had a pretty good time. If you haven't been paying attention, teams like FaZe Black have already moved forward. This is our bracket, and you can see that we already have one winners final full up. Lore and 5 Media Clan, that's the team we're waiting for next, as well as to populate our lower quarter-final, which will be Omit Brooklyn versus Houston Spartans, and the loser of this against Clutch Rain X War. Of course, there's also a little bit more for everybody involved. There is qualifications from this going forward into EWC in just over a month's time, or just under a month's time, actually. It's not that far away. And for me, a lot of the teams are waiting for that one as well. It's almost like a consolation prize, depending on how far you go through this bracket.
Sure, absolutely. We'll take a look at some of the replay package that did happen here. This was our first big series that did end. It was the 3-0 that ended up coming through here for FaZe Black, but it was a fairly contested sub-base maybe up until the very end. It felt like there was a lot of back and forths, a lot of close moments here. Spartans were certainly in it, and then FaZe Black, though, in the Search and Destroy, felt like they were just completely all over them.
Well, FaZe Black doing what FaZe Black does best, showing why they're one of the heavy favorites for a lot of fans. And I don't know, I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of this tournament shakes out, because we are seeing some great performances from many of them. I just don't know whether or not we've seen enough to say this team is dominant above everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is really the big question now coming into it, but FaZe Black, I think, have been a step above a lot of the other squads that we have, especially when we get to the LAN. I think that's the big factor. A lot of people were maybe worried about this team coming in, you know, with some of their online performances, not placing too well in the Elite, not doing too well in the most recent Cup right before Champs. But when we get to LAN, these guys turn up in a different way, and I think the preparation really goes a long way as well. So they are currently the team to beat. But this lower bracket is getting very interesting when you talk about some of these squads that we do have down here that are going to be fighting for those remaining EWC spots. But for the most part, at least up top, there is a chance to still clinch this one here between 5 Media Clan, trying to lock this one in to see if they can get the job done, force it to a map number 5. If not, Lore Gaming could very well do it themselves.
Yeah, they certainly could. I've been told, I was just checking on production actually, I think we're about to jump into this next one. It should be all good. Just going for the load in, making sure everything is fine between them. But I think for me, I think this might be Lore's, realistically. I was trying to work out, you know, obviously I'm European, so some casters are biased towards the European. Me, I'm biased towards reality. And I was right, we are going into it, and this is going to start off onto the hard point.
Well, we'll see if they can get the job done. 5 Media Clan have been it's a little bit different again. I feel like they've been bringing a lot of what you want to see out of a team that needs to win, that needs to show some consistency through multiple modes. But big test here in the hard point versus a very crisp Lore Gaming that has been a little bit too good. Yakko into the point for a way in, and he will find the double up here early. So this has been a great start. First 20 seconds locked in. Looking for now the back 20 as well.
Too real. That's a pretty big kill, but already a little bit down towards them. You can see the players waiting for that pressure to come in as well. 5 Media Clan played that beautifully. They let Lore Gaming basically run into the guns.
"35 seconds off B1, you'll be happy about that. Exactly the tempo that you want from the start. Now Yakko over the top here. Would love to have an AR maybe from this overhead position. We can still get the job done with the Rival 9. Not going to be able to lock anyone down. And Paul X is now on the time with some good assistance in and around the point. Need to find Journey. Julie says no problem as he looks to clear up mid.
Still doing a great job here of just keeping the pressure on. Lord Gaming, what an incredibly slow start in this hard point. 30 seconds to pop, and Lord Gaming will have to swing for this, but they've got to find some kills, got to find some trades across the map. At the moment, they're getting nothing.
Lord Gaming got to wake up a little bit here, don't they? 15 seconds left again, and you are not going to be close to this rotation. You are still spawning in Narnia, so your only real option is to maybe push through, but running into Super is a little bit scary in itself. They do shut down the streak. PaulX comes up big, and maybe that's what you need to try to just swing the momentum just a tad bit. Paul coming up with 3. His teammates need to follow up with some trades, and 2Real is there for 1. But can they get to the back? Can they try to break through the front?
They're trying to do something, but I mean, PaulX will get 3, but nothing came of it. No points, no positioning. Frank's just continuously going against them. Gianni's also playing a little bit of a hook here. They're going to know that this team is deep here, but just because of that spawn that coming from Rencore, the pressure now mounting. You can see Lord Gaming 1 onto this point, and they will win the trades they need. Surely Arsenis gets it. He knows it's going to be a 1v1 on the hill. His teammate comes through. PaulX will save him anyway. 25 seconds is good for them, and they're going to combine it. They're already ready for next.
Much needed moment for sure. Lord Gaming just need to lock in the remaining 15, but Journey's not going to give it up for free. Of course, the plan is to almost always try to push through after hitting this scrap time. So 2Real's got a pretty important job, and he is just caught slipping a little bit. It's too over aggressive, not setting up with the pre-aim, and now Yakko is already contesting for the front, but Yuli with a good stick will slow it down a tad bit. However, more work needs to be done. Let's see if he can try to find some more kills, and he does come up with a second.
And Lord Gaming now finally fighting back. This has been an interesting one. I was expecting Lord Gaming to come in a little bit hotter, but sometimes, as long as you're good towards the end, it's all that's really going to matter for them. Not a lot of time here. He's on a 5, will fall. We keep seeing that. So many players get towards that cruise missile and just get taken down before they can get it. There will be 5 Media Clan back onto the point here, and Lord Gaming will swing because they are so far behind. But if they better swing, they better not miss, because that rotation is upon us.
It is. Scrap time will be fought for, and will be won from Super. Super is having a heater right now. 12-5. Almost earned that streak a little bit earlier on. But we'll see if anybody's going to be able to match it. Outside of that little moment out of PaulX, it really hasn't been a whole lot of positives to take away here from Lord Gaming. But maybe this is where it turns. Early setup is good. 2Real and PaulX are dealing with all of the pressure, and they are cutting down all the rotators here from 5 Media Clan. So, again, a moment that you'll like to see. Just need to continue to see it here over the next 40 seconds on the final hill.
Arsenis, yeah, they are warming up, certainly. More pressure piling through. 5 Media Clan, nowhere to really be seen. This is normally a much more mixy hardpoint, but it has been locked down completely. Yakko gonna slip through, gonna find 2Real. Easy kill for him. Rencore with another one. Finally, the pressure arrives. Uli has had to back off. The stun is gonna get him killed as well. And there will be 5 Media Clan to break in now, and they will get this time.
Good help there. Yakko and Super doing an excellent job on the break. It is still a positive hill. I feel like here for Lord Gaming, they come away with a good 40 seconds or so, maybe just a tad bit less, but that's the moment that you needed to make sure this one does not get completely out of hand. 5 Media Clan, however, should have a pretty easy rotation to new. Some good exits do end up coming through for Lord Gaming. A good read in the corner there as well for Rencore, as he's now soaking up some time on P1.
Rencore trying to do a little bit of spin with the Renetti. Gun that has been pretty much as good as a main weapon for most people this season. Maybe a little bit too powerful, but it stayed in, and it stayed every bit the kind of mainstay. I always think it's a little bit weird when you see people willingly chow with a pistol rather than use their main gun, but each to their own.
Oh, Yuli. How about the finesse? Might even be able to put together some more kills here. His teammates are with him, so the bait and switches just need to be on point, and Lord Gaming do it flawlessly. That is a big break for the remaining 15 seconds. Some exits, of course, being played for here to slow down the rotation to new, which will be held on here for 5 Media Clan, at least for now.
This game has got very, very close. We're looking to back up his teammate. He's got the right timing. Actually ends up leaving him for it. He's looking for it now. 2Real, it's a big chow. He's going to get it. It will give him that first little kind of control, but they need to get out someone towards mid. It's very vulnerable from that position.
Yuli getting up top. 4 in a row. Needed to see someone pick up the slack. Yuli has obviously grabbed the baton here. 5 in a row. Still looking for a cruise missile. We've had so many 5 sprees through this series, but not a whole lot of streaks. So maybe a chance to finally lock one in here on the map. Arcitys, good read, just won't find the shots onto Journey. Pollux ready and waiting for the trades, and Yuli does come from behind there to finish off Yakko, so there is now a cruise missile in the back pocket.
And just who pulls away again here? You've got to say, momentum for Law Gaming. Not only all streaking now, but they were quite far behind. We wondered where they were at the start of this hard point. Now, as we go towards it, they are looking fantastic. Arcitys taking that away from 5 Media Clan as well. Gives them the spawn. Opportunities in abundance. Time to end this, if they can, with a 60 here looming.
Rancor's all alone at the back, and he'll be traded out just about immediately here. And through the middle, Pollux is chowing everything. So another cruise missile, something that you love to have, especially for those P5s. Can make all the difference here, and you can even find value at P4 if you don't have the spawns. But Arcitys might feel a little overwhelmed unless his teammates can get here, and it's Yuli that does help out with 2. True Real down low, cleans up the 3rd, Journey the last one up.
Now they're just not finding everything. Law Gaming are putting them to task. 20 seconds ago, they will swing this one more time. You have to kind of push through here to try and get the back spawns. They should be able to defeat Arcitys. They have the bodies, but Arcitys is not dropping. Reinforcements coming through. Journey has the advantage in that one, but Pollux still finds him, who is having a fantastic game. Benefit here for 5 Media Clan is they have managed to get a player through. It is Yakko, who will be holding the linchpin to this rotation.
Need to find some kills in the back. If you're Journey, and Yuli is just turned up. Oh my goodness, left to right. Snaps on both of them with headshots. And that is a moment that might very well cost you not only the game, but unfortunately the series here, unless you can find a very fast break. The kills initially are good. They're able to put together 2, but now it's finding the kills in the hard point. At Arcitys and Yuli, they are just a brick wall. You can't punch through them. And they're going to continue to hold on 4 in a row, with still lots of streaks available, and they could end it on the point.
12 seconds and 5 Media Clan will have to hit. You can see them wanting to stack, but Pollux already cuts them down. Journey will find early. Real diving in, and they have managed to break this with the stack and 8 seconds to spare. Arcitys will be trying to find the exit kills. There's one. Looking for the second. Still being a pro. They can actually win this.
They get
it. Oh
no,
they've rotated. The tick is with them, I'm certain. Is this over like this? It is.
Yeah.
It's going to be a disaster. 5 Media Clan, they knew they had to rotate early, but it's not going to be good enough. Law Gaming, they will go to the winner's final. 5 Media Clan will go into the lower brackets. And what an ending. What a hard point.
Yeah, what a hard point. After, what was like a 90-40 scoreline going into P5 on the very first set, it was all controlled by 5 Media Clan, but everything turns with that P5. The momentum starts to shift. You started to see some of these players rack up the streaks. I think a really big shout out to Paul for really keeping them in that game and giving them some life there. But it was enough to bring it all the way back. They started chaining together the hills, and we know just how devastating it can be when you lose 2 hills back to back and all of a sudden you're down by over 80-90 seconds. So a very tough one, very tough pill to swallow there for 5 Media Clan. We know their search is good, but they need to be just as consistent here in either the hard points or the control if they're going to win some more of these series. And with that said, Law Gaming are also our second team here to qualify for EWC.
They certainly are, and kind of a double reason to celebrate, not only moving forward into the winner's bracket, but getting that qualification. A lot of teams have got it on their thing, because let's face it, you always want to play in another big tournament down the road, so locking that golden ticket in early is always a great time. But this is how the bracket currently sits. Only 6 teams remain, which will swiftly be dropping to 4.
This lower bracket getting very interesting here for us. So another EU matchup as you would have it. So last time around, it was Clutch Rain that had to eliminate Omit EU, and now they might have to eliminate another EU team to try to stay alive and clinch that final position, not only for EWC, but also a chance to maybe make your way back up to the grand finals. Things certainly get a little bit spicy here for us. And then that winner's final, War Gaming and FaZe Black. That should be another great one as well.
It really should. We will find out how all those get on and keep on going. But we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, even more action at Challengers Champs. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you right after this.